SportsCenter.
It appears the Dallas Cowboys have settled on their defensive coordinator. They're expected to hire Mike Zimmer to replace Dan Quinn, who is now the head coach at Washington. But with that hire, the Cowboys are losing defensive line coach Aiden Durde. The Seahawks plan to hire Durde as their defensive coordinator. And the NFL announced today it's going to play a regular season game in Madrid, Spain in 2025.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. We're all running on fumes on day 5 of our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage here in Las Vegas, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds and Synergenics. But we've got Emmitt Smith coming up a little bit later.
I can't wait for that.
Wait.
If that doesn't give you energy to carry on, nothing will. Can't wait to talk to Emmitt about a variety of things regarding the Dallas Cowboys. He's always got a great opinion on that. And, it's the highlight for me of Radio Row, to be honest with you. And there's a lot to be proud of what we've done here at Radio Row.
Well, and you look at it, I mean, we're kids in a candy store, right?
Yeah.
We're all sports fans.
Yeah.
There are certain people that we're fortunate enough to get to talk to. And when, you take somebody my age, and, excuse me, the idea of Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, you know what I mean? The heyday, the heroes, like I'm not old enough to remember when Roger Staubach was the guy. I know the legend, and I get nervous as hell when I'm around Roger. But those are my guys. Those were my Cowboys.
What are you saying, that Roger Staubach was my time? Is that
yes?
Is that
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, it sounded like that's what you're saying.
Yes.
I mean, it does. I remember very well the Cowboys teams of the 90s.
Well, of course you do.
Well, sure. I mean, do
you remember very well the Cowboys teams of the 70s? I was 4.
No, not really. I really don't honestly remember those as much, to be totally honest with you. More of an 80s guy and then into the 90s. So, but yeah, it's, the heyday. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. What happened to that Cowboys mystique, that Cowboys domination?
Well, I mean, the mystique is there. The domination is not. Yet they dominate the headlines, just like Jerry Jones did last night. It's NFL honors. It's the big award show. You got Cowboys up for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year. And, they're not winning anything because the Cowboys don't get hardware. So what does Jerry Jones do? He announces, sort of, unofficially, leaks it out, Mike Zimmer is going to be the defensive coordinator so he can dominate the news cycle and steal headlines away from the NFL Honor Show.
Which is what Jerry does. He's very good at it, and I don't blame him. I mean, why not? When it comes to publicity, Jerry Jones is the master of publicity, good or bad, and he had an opportunity and he threw it out there. Now, you had a chance to talk to a good friend of yours about Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, well, former co-host Dat Wynn.
Yeah.
Long time, Dallas Cowboy, Texas Aggie. Everybody knows who Dat Wynn is. Dat Wynn is very close with Mike Zimmer. And, what do you think, right? Dat obviously is excited. It's his friend. But from a football standpoint, he said they will play less man than Dan Quinn did, but he will have them play their butts off because that is a hard-nosed football coach in Mike Zimmer, who did have really good defenses when he was in Minnesota. You think about what Andrew Sendejo said earlier in the week when he was on with us on Radio Row. Some of the other Viking teammates that Andrew have that's been in the news about, Mike Zimmer's out there, but he says, well, you played for him. What do you think? Because he has been out of the game sort of for a couple of years. He went with Deion Sanders to Jackson State. Part of that, he has a contract, but, Deion played for Mike. And you think about the kind of coach Deion is, holding players accountable, a little bit old school. I think that's what the Cowboys are going to get with Mike Zimmer.
And I think that's what they need is that old school approach to it. That's exactly what they need, especially when you're talking about a guy by the name of Micah Parsons. And I just wonder how things will change and what Mike Zimmer will be allowed to do and what he'll be able to control. That's going to be fascinating to look and see. So, outstanding. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and look, we'll talk a lot about the unofficial announcement. And then when the official announcement is there, we'll get more in on what's going on with the Cowboys and Mike Zimmer getting and becoming the new defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. And as we're here on Radio Row, this is how it works. I mean, you get guests all the time jumping in like Dean Blandino, and we didn't get a penalty for all this. He's Joe, I'm Jason.
And this is mine, right? I can take this?
Yeah, you cannot take that. There's tequila on the table that was left by one Emmitt Smith.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's the I mean, we love talking.
I didn't bring any gifts. I'm sorry.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Is that a penalty? That was the protocol.
Is that a foul?
That's a foul on me.
That's a foul. Dean, I mean, everybody, you're the rules guy, right? So many rules in question. Do they need to take this out? Do they not? Now, there was a game earlier, and we were debating it quite a bit on our show. The fumble out of bounds that becomes touchback. That's too much of a penalty, isn't it? Will that rule change?
I don't know if it'll change. I like the rule personally.
I do too.
I think the end zone's different. I think when you're talking about a game that is predicated on gaining yardage, and the closer you get to the goal line, look, if you get that ball in your opponent's end zone, that's a touchdown. If the ball's dead, if a loose ball dead in your opponent's end zone, whether it's a punt, a kickoff, a fumble, that's a touchback. I like the rule. I think it's simple. I think it underscores how important ball security is, especially at the goal line. And I get it. I understand the argument that it's too punitive, 100%. When a guy's trying to make a play and he just happens to lose control and it happens to touch the pylon, when if it went out of bounds 3 inches this way, they keep it. I like the rule where it is. The end zone's different to me.
Dane, how about hang on to the football? All right.
Yeah,
I mean, just hang on to the football.
And that's what they coach.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
And that's what they coach is, hey, at the goal line, let's live, let's not on first and goal. Let's not turn it over.
Yeah.
We're going to have a second and goal. So I like it where it is.
I get all that. If the defense doesn't recover it, it's like if it goes out of bounds at the 4, it's out of bounds. Now, I think there could be some sort of penalty, like, all right, you fumble the ball out of bounds, we're going to put you back on the 20, something along those lines. Of all the things, and you've been involved in spring leagues, and in San Antonio, we've had a team in the Alliance and the XFL, and we're going to be in the UFL, and some of the rules differences that they use in the spring league. How many of those do you like that you think could make their way into the NFL?
I like a lot of the rules. I was involved with the XFL last year and in 2020 when we had really a blank slate and we could just kind of say, okay, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do with the kickoff? What do we to promote more returns and keep the game, keep it in the game, but keep it safe. And so I like a lot of those. I like the transparency that we did in the spring leagues where you can see the replay process and listen to what is being said. Because I think right now with the NFL, there's too much. It's just they make a decision and you're wondering, well, how did they get to that decision? If at least if people could hear it, they might not always agree with it, but they'd have a better understanding. So I think the spring leagues, it's a great platform for us to test different rules. We've got a good collaboration with the NFL, and I think the NFL is looking at some of the things that were done in the spring leagues, and we'll continue to do that.
What do you think that the NFL though is? You say they're looking at it. Are they interested in changing the game in that way? Do you think?
I think they're going to be with the kickoff. They're going to have to do something because right now, the kickoff, the returns. I mean, it was a historical low, right? It was about 22%, I think, during the regular season, which never been below 36%. So you're basically eight out of every 10 kickoffs is a touchback. And so think about Sunday, the whole place is going to be going crazy. Everybody's standing up, and then 80% chance that we're just kicking it into the end zone. Everybody sits back down, and we do. So is this going to be a ceremonial play, or do we want this to be a real play in the game with real, returns and all. And you think about the onside kick, it's become much harder to recover an onside kick, that's an important play in the game, because that, if you can't recover an onside kick, you're down 2 scores with 3 minutes to go, you're done. You can't come back. So I think that the league is going to have to look at those things.
Do you like the idea of on the onside where it's a 4th and 12?
4th down play, yeah. I do. I like it as an option. I think we're going to do it in the United Football League it'll be a 4th and 12 from the 28. You can still go onside if you want, but in the fourth quarter, if the score's tied or you're behind, you can go with that 4th and 12. And it's an exciting play. Who wouldn't want to see, Patrick Mahomes with, a one, got to have it play with 30 seconds to go. It's a lot of fun, and that's the benefit that we can make those changes in the spring leagues.
Dean, when you look at, and I'll just take this year as an example, it seems like the scrutiny of the officials is more and more and more. Now, I know social media probably has a lot to do with it, but is there a problem with the officiating, or is it the same as it always has been?
I think the scrutiny is greater than it's ever been, and it's only going to increase. You think about, like you said, social media. And now with legalized sports betting and everything that goes into these games, there's a responsibility on the league's part to make sure that the games are officiated. You don't have major mistakes. You don't have what happened in the NFC Championship game in 2018. I don't think the officiating is significantly worse. I do think we're at a tipping point, whereas how much technology do we want to use in the game? Because I have seen more instances, especially this year, where officials are deferring to the person upstairs and they're not making a decision. It's a close play and they're kind of indecisive. And I think that's not good for officiating. Like, make the call, officiate what you see, and then replay can come in and correct it if needed. And I think we got to find that balance where they officiate the game, they make calls, and then let's correct the obvious mistakes that are going to have a big impact on the outcome of the game.
Dean Blandino joining us here on the Blitz, and that kind of goes back to Spring League, the Sky Judge, who is another official out there. And generally, it's not like, all right, there was a holding call way over here, let's call that. But it was more of an assist, just another set of eyes that it does that need to be implemented more at the NFL level?
I think you could. I always worry about, I don't think anybody wants to see the game just every play re-officiated from the booth. It would take too long. One of the things we did in the XFL last year, we gave the coach one challenge in the game, and they could challenge anything, but we limited it. And that was strategic, because you're saying you use this in the first quarter. There's 3.5 quarters left. You've used up your one like get out of jail free card. So you got to save it for a critical moment. And a lot of the coaches did. And we were able to correct some mistakes that had a negative impact on the outcome of the game.
I find it fascinating because we've talked to a lot of players here, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and the defensive guys say that I'm getting held every day, every play. The offensive linemen say, well, we're not. So you watch a game, though, there is. Typically, it seems like you can call holding on every play.
Yeah.
How does the official? And
I think and you hear that a lot. There's certainly grabbing on every play, right? Offensive linemen, like you go back and watch like blocking videos from the 1950s, and they were like, that's not how we block, right? Everything's outside the frame. There's a lot of grabbing, but that's not just holding. Then the official has to look at the body position of the offensive lineman. Are they keeping good feet, right? Are they staying in front of the defender? Or am I staying square to you? Now, if you beat my feet and you get outside of me and now I don't let go, that's when it becomes holding. Was it at the point of attack? Did it have an impact on the outcome of the play? So while there's grabbing on every play, it doesn't always raise the level of holding, because you have to consider those other factors.
So when you whine, do you say, dude, that was grabbing, not holding?
It's fascinating with Micah Parsons, because you think about a guy who's that good, whatever it was this year, right? He had 11 straight games or whatever without trying a holding penalty. I just think those things, it's not intentional. I think those things, it's different crews coming in, and it's an anomaly, right? And then the playoff game against the Packers, he draws 2 in the first quarter. Yeah. So it's
with that, though. Referees are human. I know they're going to go out there and be impartial. But when you hear a guy, as often as and we're a Cowboys affiliate station, right? Yeah. But the whining's got to stop. Do referees kind of hold that? It's got to be egregious, man, if you're going to get a flag.
There's that human element. And I always talked, my role at the league office when I was in charge of officiating was dealing with coaches all the time. And I used to tell coaches all the time, think about in any other aspect of your life. If you are whining and complaining to somebody constantly, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to want to give you the time of day? They're going to tune you out. So it's just about dealing with people. And look, but there's emotion involved. So you get that part of it, but it's about communicating with people, and you've got to do it. And I get when Micah Parsons is frustrated, the officials are supposed to tune that out. They're going to call the game the way they see it, but it's hard, especially on the sideline, when you're an official and you've got a coach in your ear the entire game. You're like, you know what? I don't want to listen to you anymore. That's human nature.
Why are some officiating crews better than others?
I think it's just, look, the goal, the challenge, the hardest thing about officiating is getting all of your officials. You have 7 officials on each crew, then getting all those officials on the same page. Then you have 17 different crews, getting all 17 crews to look at the game the same way. A lot of it has to do with the referee, the white hat, that the leadership comes from that person. And if they run their crew the right way and they communicate and they're consistent in their messaging, also the leadership from the league office has to be consistent. But then it's just like anything else. Why are these 2 teams playing in the Super Bowl and 30 other teams are at home? You have different skill levels. You want all your officials to be the same level and everybody to officiate the game the same way, but it's not a perfect world.
Dean Blandino joining us here on the Blitz. A couple of things that we hear a lot, and I'm curious the level of how much this happens. Coaches send in plays after every game that they want reviewed. The referees get graded every play or every game, right? How brutal is that grading process, especially when you get the tapes from the coaches where they want explanation?
It's fascinating to see these officials, and we've tried to go away from it because it does create that environment that's more stressful. The grades would typically come out on a Wednesday, right? They're like on pins and needles waiting. It's like getting your report card. And because that's where the accountability comes in. I don't think everyone doesn't understand. They are held accountable because how they're evaluated is going to dictate whether they get a postseason assignment. And there's obviously you're going to get a postseason bonus if you qualify for the playoffs. If you don't qualify and you're in the bottom tier, you may get let go at the end of the year. So it is really stressful for these officials, and we've created this environment because they're held accountable on a lot of different levels, and it's a really hard job.
Should officials in the NFL be full-time?
I think there's an opportunity for the officials to do more, especially in the off season. You look NBA referees, NHL, Major League Baseball umpires, they work the games they're assigned to. There's just more games during the week, right? It's not like on a Tuesday that crew, it's an off day. They're not working a Mavericks practice. They're just not. They're studying. They're doing what NFL officials do, but football's different. You play once a week. So the way it's evolved is I can have another job, right? But I think the way officiating has evolved at the higher levels, when I started in the late 90s, they had a full-time job. They officiated on the side. Now, the compensation's at a point where they officiate first, and they might have a gig on the side, and they spend a lot of time during the week, Zoom calls, looking at film, looking at their last game, looking at their next game. I think there's an opportunity in the offseason, and whatever you want to call them, whether you call them full-time or not, I think you got to put the resources behind it to give them an opportunity to continue to improve.
Is it becoming more difficult with the scrutiny out there to find good referees?
Young officials. We have a hard time at the lower levels because these younger folks get involved and then they have a bad experience and they don't want to do it anymore. And that's a trickle down. We always talk to our announcers. We talk about how they talk about officiating, that you can disagree with something, but just be mindful of even, being disrespectful, because then that trickles down, because you'll be at a youth game and you have parents, adults who are yelling at these officials who are kids, they're teenagers, and then they don't want to do it anymore. And then you lose good people at the lower levels. And then that has a trickle up effect where you don't get good quality people moving up the ladder.
Because, people don't forget things. Like Des caught it, right?
Yeah,
Des
you know what? I'll make you guys a deal. If you give me Emmitt's tequila, I'll go on the radio and say that Des caught it. But that's just
Des caught it. Des caught it. Cowboys would have won a Super Bowl that year.
You know what?
It's not worth the tequila.
It's not.
Aaron Rodgers still would have had 4 minutes and the ball. Then you got to go to Seattle. Then you got to beat New England in the postseason. In the Super Bowl. But that cost them the Super Bowl.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Right.
Des caught
Cowboy fans.
Dean Blandino, man, great catching up with you here in Las Vegas on
Thanks
Radio Row. More coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Sports Star boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Woo! I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergenics, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states. And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Total by Verizon is wireless that goes all in for you. That means unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon, priced by us at $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan. And as always, no contracts. Sounds pretty hard to beat, but all in is all in. So we added international calling to fill the year with more, hey girl, because it can't be total unless it's all in. Find a store and exclusive deals at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate with autopay discount beginning the month after you enroll plus taxes and fees. Additional restrictions apply. See website for data management practices and full terms.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
Is like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues, brought to you by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Day 5. It's Friday. Lots of stuff to talk about. But, you know, with the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday, I've got to rethink what I'm going to do on the grill. You know, our buddy Joe Herring over at Tri-County just sent us a text.
Yeah.
The guy that won the Grilling with the Blitz $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Apparently went in today and picked it up. And he said, man, this is the guy that won last week. And he sent a picture of the Kanya that he did. And he said, man, that's beautiful, man.
Isn't that beautiful?
And so I guess that guy went in there taking advantage of the idea. And, because we're traveling, I was like, all right, I was thinking, all right, we'll do some wings. So I might do some shotgun shells, maybe some, pig shots. We have had wings every day for lunch.
Now, I'm not complaining because they're good and they're free.
They're good and they're free. Well, and they're free and they're good.
Yes.
And I know that our big boss on the expense report is going to be thrilled.
Yes, he is.
That we have not spent a nickel at lunch.
We do have tonight. To make up for it all.
Well, I mean, in reality, there's some truth that I can't speak for Rob and RJ because, they're here so early and whatever they do at night. And, those boys, and Swampy, we went out to a great dinner the other night and they ordered pizza.
Yes.
Like we're in Las Vegas.
They're getting pizza delivered to the house.
I'm going to, and look, they're tired. I get it. I'm tired. It happens. It's Vegas. And I can tell you this, 5 days in Vegas, and we still got a day to go, is too damn many, even though we haven't done like a typical Vegas. But I'm starting to think, what do I want for Super Bowl Sunday? But 5 straight days of wings, and my wings are better than these wings. I just don't know if I want any more wings.
You're not having wings on Sunday. That's a prediction that I think is going to be pretty good. I'm not going to have wings on Sunday. All right. I know that for a fact.
And I never turn down wings.
That's not happening.
And my wings are fantastic.
Well,
Swampy, he does wings too. He was talking about wings. I don't know if he's going to do wings on Sunday. Oh, he says he is.
He's a wing guy.
Well, he might go get more wings here and then take them home. Why not? I could certainly see that.
Can you ship them back?
Yeah, put them in the check luggage.
It's been really cool because over here to my left, for everybody listening on radio and you can't see, but to my left, it's been like a wing setup. And it's with Bounty paper towels, and for 2 hours every day they give out wings, and they're really good. And so it's really kind of saved us, I'll be honest with you, because for us in the time, keep in mind, we're in Las Vegas. It's noon here when we go on, 2 o'clock in San Antonio. So it's kind of difficult to plan a lunch. So the wings folks have really helped us out.
And I don't even know where these wings are from.
I don't know, but they are good.
They are good wings.
Yes.
But I went and got the box a little while ago. I haven't even eaten one yet.
Dude, I chowed mine down quick.
Well, because today there's also a place called Ike's Sandwiches.
Yes.
Now, my daughter Erica is with us. Ike's apparently is all over the place, and they're in Phoenix. Erica was like, "Oh, there's Ike sandwiches." I'm like, "What the hell is Ike sandwich?" And Ike is actually here.
Yeah. Well, if you got to look for him.
Well, you do.
You look tall around Ike.
I sky over this guy, so he's my new best friend. Because I can't say that about many people.
No.
But yeah, what did he say? He has 117 stores, and he's all over the place. So, like Erica was, that's a hell of a sandwich. He's got locations. He said in Austin. In Houston, but they're not doing as well in Texas, so he doesn't know if they're going to expand. I'm like, well, dude, you got to come to San Antonio. Why do you think Texas isn't working as well? I said, Chiba Hut just opened, and they're always busy. Really? I don't know. Maybe it's his locations in Austin or Houston, but that's a hell of a sandwich. But because I had that sandwich, haven't eaten my wings yet.
Well,
and quite honestly,
it wasn't even a sandwich. It was a sandwich nugget.
Well, you only grabbed one, you idiot.
Well, yeah.
Right?
How many did you grab?
Well, he handed me 2.
Oh, wow.
You take 2 of the halves and you get a full sandwich.
Well, see, I only got the chicken nugget sandwich thing.
Well, see, I had the steak sandwich.
Wow.
Which was fantastic.
Well, I'm going to have to go back.
But also with the wings right there, not eating, I know it's kind of tormenting Swampy, too.
Sure it is.
Because he's just sitting there and he's looking at them.
He's had about 3 boxes of wings
Well,
already.
he really has. They only let you get one at a time, but he's made multiple trips.
Yeah, you can go back.
Well, you can go back. That's... Yeah,
and he does.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's free, it's for me.
I saw Swampy eat about 3 bags of chips the other night in a row.
He doesn't stop eating.
In a row.
He does.
One was gone. He's like a chain chipper.
A chain chipper?
Not like a chain smoker, right? He's like one bag open, gone. Open another bag, gone.
Well, they don't always disappear. I mean, because there are open bags of chips kind of all over the place, right? And so if you've got a bag of chips sitting there, he's going to reach in and start grabbing.
Well,
right?
Yeah, thank God that
it's
hasn't happened
almost
this
like
trip.
your cereal.
Yeah.
No, it's happened. You just
I just didn't see it
because
this time.
you know damn well.
Yeah.
He looks around, nobody's around.
Every time.
And then he'll reach into his pockets and pull out a couple of middle fingers.
Every time I've had a bowl of cereal this morning, I think, golly, this could be swamp all over it.
Yet you still eat it.
I still eat it. It's still good.
It.
So if I don't see it, I'm okay with it. It's like going behind the kitchen door. You know, I don't want to see what's back there. If the food's good, I really don't give a damn what's going on in the kitchen.
Well, and that's, I mean, there's so much truth to that. But when you do see it, it's there.
Then it's a problem.
But there are lots of bags of chips. Although, you know, here in Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay people, the first 2 days, they refilled our snack dish it was very nice of them. I mean, nice added touch. I've never seen that on Radio Row before, but they have these cool little baskets. Football, you know, like they went to Target, you know, like your wife's planning the party and she's going to buy all this crap to put stuff in that nobody gives a damn about, right? But they're lovely. But they were getting filled the first couple of days.
Yeah, not anymore.
We haven't seen a refill on these since.
Well, starting Wednesday, there were no more chips. It was just peppermints. They did a whole thing. Did they do that or did we do that?
We did that.
Oh, we did that.
Those peppermints in there when we went grocery shopping when we got here.
I didn't know
Rob
that.
bought the chocolate that nobody wants. And I was like, dude, you got to get mints. People are talking a lot, sore throats, fresh breath. Mints are always popular, and they're individually wrapped.
Well, I don't know what's going on with those, you know, wieners in the morning. They can't handle it. I mean, we're doing just fine. My voice feels great. No sore throat, no scratchiness. And we're out partying all night, and I feel great. Maybe that's the problem.
You're talking about the morning cuddle?
I am, yes.
RJ Ochoa, who's damn near lost his voice?
He did, yes. That's who I'm talking about, exactly.
He was struggling yesterday.
He was. Apparently, Pledge said he was struggling this morning as well. I mean, the voice just kind of went out on it.
Well, it was going out, but the dude never shuts up.
Well, no, he doesn't.
I mean, whether he's on the radio, doing a podcast, doing something, he's just constantly talking.
Dude, he's the biggest smartass I know. I'm going to tell you that right now. I mean, it's fun to mess with him. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed getting to know RJ a little bit better.
I love RJ.
Yeah.
And as the father of an only child, he really is an only child. And he can sit in a room, talk to himself, entertain himself, and have a great time. I mean, it's perfect. But he was losing his voice. And then we go to the cigar party last night at a place called the M Resort and Spa.
Fantastic place.
But why? Right? It was about a 25-minute drive or so.
Yeah, on the outskirts of Vegas. So, I mean, it was out there.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, incredible. It was so damn cold last night.
It was.
And we're outside by this great pool, and it was so damn cold. Now, the cigars were good. The food was good. The drinks were free. I mean, it was a party. But it was too much. It was too cold. So we ended up inside the casino because it was warm in the casino. And then we ended up – but that resort, would you ever stay there?
I don't think so. Even though it was nice, I don't – they didn't have enough tables, right? That was the problem. So finding a blackjack table was tough. I did find a hot slot machine.
You did find a hot slot machine.
I did.
I found a machine that gave me $500 too.
You did, yeah. Well, that one always pays off. That's called the ATM machine.
He could have just said, "Yeah, I found a machine that paid me $500." Security to come help with all of that too.
So Minix puts his card in the ATM machine, right? And nothing happens. The card won't come out. He's canceling the thing. Nothing. So the machine ate his card.
Well, here's the crazy thing. Like, all right, I'm not leaving because my card's in there and it's not. It hasn't come back, and so it's like looking for security. Somebody help, right? And then the security guy comes over, and then he stands in front of the machine. You know, this big, Marine-looking dude. He's standing in front of the machine until the dudes in the red shirts come, and they open up the machine. And holy cow! I mean, looked like Mayweather rolling out of the bank with all that money that's in there, and you realize that's why there was that many security guards. And the card got stuck, and he said it happens all the time there. that machine. And he's like, all right, do it now. And, and then you get your money.
That's good.
A little disappointing when I realized I took $500 out of that machine and it didn't make a dent to the amount of money that was in.
Of course
I don't know that I've ever actually seen that much cash that close to me.
Wow.
Like I could have, holy cow, there was a lot of money in that machine.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, just think about that and how many of those machines are around, especially if you go down on the Strip, a big casino, they're everywhere.
Dude, they open up that thing.
Oh, man.
Can I just take some of that? Get my card back? Here we go.
Is it free day?
Oh,
man.
Well, because when they came over, I just wondered why there were so many people to help me get my card back.
Well, that's why.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that when it initially happened.
Fun night, though, it was.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. If you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home. They added extra outlets in the garage, put up a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. And there's never a service charge and always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or online at hill-electric.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Hopefully my voice is back, but we are back and the big game happened. We have some thoughts.
RJ Ochoa and I sit back and look at what we saw. Zimmer is the defensive coordinator. Dak is in flux. What's going on with McCarthy? And, oh, by the way, the Spurs continue to lose. So much to do. You better get there early. The party starts at 6.
No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
Did you know some ordinary cold medicines can raise your blood pressure? That's alarming. Fortunately, there's Vicks NyQuil high blood pressure. It's specially formulated without alcohol, sugar, or decongestants to provide fast, powerful nighttime colds and flu symptoms relief for people with high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, try NyQuil high blood pressure. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure medicine. Use as directed and keep out of reach of children.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Air Road and on Heebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
Hi, it's Jason Minix from the Blitz. Guys, Synergenics can help conquer your New Year's resolutions. Do you have lack of energy, motivation, and possibly low libido? These could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, they exclusively specialize in testosterone treatment and make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you will get your results back at your first visit. To book your appointment, go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, live from Radio Row for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
We are in Las Vegas, Super Bowl 58. You can listen to the big game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star coming up Sunday, brought to you by our friends from Flight by Yingling. We're on Radio Row, Day 5, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, which you need to go to HEB and get for your big game party coming up Sunday. Synergenics, go to their website, fixmylowt.com. And, while we talk about Jerry stealing headlines yesterday, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the hell is going on with Chip Kelly. How bad is the UCLA head coaching job? How bad is the UCLA football program, where there were stories and rumors linked with he's going to go be the offensive coordinator in Seattle with Dan Quinn, then he was up in Washington with Dan Quinn, that he would rather be a coordinator at the NFL level than a head coach at the college level. And to me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, now he's leaving UCLA as the head coach to go to Ohio State as the offensive coordinator. Make that make sense.
Well, a lot of things. I think you hit the nail on the head. UCLA, you're not going to win there. And they're moving into the Big Ten, right? Is it the Big Ten they're moving into? Yeah. So that's going to make that a lot tougher. And then just if as an offensive coordinator, you're not going to have to deal with the craziness that is college football right now. All of that's still going to be on Ryan Day, and I'm sure Kelly will have some input and do some things, but he doesn't have that responsibility on his shoulders. And I think, I just think we shouldn't be surprised, because I think this is going to happen more and more often, wanting to get jumped to the NFL. And if you can't jump to the NFL, then you'll be an assistant somewhere.
The only part I think you might be off a little bit is the recruiting and dealing with the NIL, because the head coach isn't in on every recruit, position coaches and different things like that. So that's probably a lot where the NIL discussion begins. And we've talked to a number of people out here that deal with recruiting, and it's not about the coach. It's not about the school. It's about the cash. How much money am I going to get? So if the offensive coordinator is talking to a quarterback, a wide receiver, running back, whatever it might be, well, how much, coach? Well, let me see what you're asking for, and let me go ask Dad if it's available there. But what is the Ohio State recruiting budget? $13 million right now?
I don't know. It's outrageous
for this season. So the recruiting aspect, he'll still deal with. Every college coach does. The portal, you're recruiting every day. So that's a full staff thing. But parents, agents, NIL collectives, boosters. But I think it just signals UCLA football. You've got a head coach that's going to quit being a head coach to go be a coordinator of now a conference opponent. Going to the NFL to be a coordinator, that made all the sense to me. The idea that he's taking a lesser job in the same conference.
That's a better school, though. I mean, let's face it.
Well, a better football program.
That's
now,
what I mean.
For all the people about the Ohio State University, I get all that. But Los Angeles, that beautiful campus right there on the beach, to go live in Columbus.
Well,
where
you're leaving all the taxes, and you're leaving all the craziness that is California and all of that stuff too. And you're going to a place where it's a little more quiet. Maybe that's what Chip Kelly wants. Look, I just think college football, we should expect more of this. And I'm sure he gets involved in recruiting. I'm sure he gets involved in a lot, but just not having to be the head guy that has to deal with that, like Jeff Traylor says. I mean, he's out all the time, begging for money. And I think that's become a head coach's job now. You got to go shake hands, kiss babies, and beg for money.
What's interesting is that has always happened to get donors to write checks to, we need an indoor practice facility. We need lights. We need whatever it might be. Now you're begging money for NIL. You're begging money for, and it's just a nonstop ask. And at some point you wonder, how long is it worth it? You look at these coaches now, young coaches come up the ladder. You become a coordinator. You become a head coach. You do that for 4 or 5 years, get a couple 10 million in the bank or maybe more, whatever, and be done. That's
what I would do.
I just don't know that you're going to see coaches, if they stay in the game, live long enough, because the stress, the schedule, it's you can only work 20 hours a day, so many days and so many years. But is it worth it? You look at Jeff Traylor's contract with UTSA, a 10-year, was it 29 million, 30 million, whatever it might be, right?
Just under $3 million a year, I think. Right?
As Jeff Traylor has said before, with the different jobs, I can't spend all the money I'm getting now. Yeah. Go live your life. Go enjoy. I know they love coaching, but that seems to be such a small part of what college coaches is right now. But I think it's a tell of what could be coming. The state of UCLA football must be so bad that you've got a guy willing to quit and has been looking to quit because he knows he can't compete. He's going to lose. He's going to get fired. That could hurt his reputation, or I just don't want to deal with all the crap. And I think schools that are going to always be fighting that uphill battle when it comes to the collective, the middle of the road schools, which is where I think UTSA is right now in the American, the bottom of a conference, you look at like the dude from Boston College. I'm out. I'm jumping, right?
Yeah, and then Bill O'Brien's going into that nonsense.
Yeah, well, good for OB, right? That's a guy that doesn't take orders, so he needs to be a head coach because he can't take orders.
Let him go screw up Boston College like he did Houston.
But you look at it and you wonder, for all these coaches that are at schools that they know getting those checks and building the collective and keeping the players that they develop, is it worth it? And if I think this right now is going to the beginning, when you look at how bad is the state of UCLA football, that this is happening at a place like UCLA. All these other schools that aren't getting all that NIL money, you're not going to be able to get players. You're not going to be able to compete. You're never going to win.
Let me surprise the hell out of you and everybody else that listens to this program.
Buckle up.
I'm going to be optimistic Joe today. I honestly believe that as fed up as I am with college football and the NIL and the transfer portal, there are people out there that are even more fed up with it than I am, and they're starting to make some progress to fix it. I think this thing gets fixed sooner rather than later, and for me, on this Friday, February the 9th on Radio Row, I'm optimistic this is going to get taken care of soon.
All right. Well, what is soon? What is sooner rather than later?
I'm saying soon by.
Well, what is soon?
A year or two.
A year or two.
Or even by the end of this year. Look, with the SEC and the Big Ten partnering up, I think there's going to be some good ideas. Now, how quickly can they implement them? Who has to approve of them? Who's got to do the rubber stamp and all of that? It's going to happen, though, and it's going to happen soon, and I'm looking forward to it. Look, there's nothing to do right now. The NCAA's got no stones at all. Right, they handed it over and said, "Let's just be the wild, wild west. The hell with it."
We've talked to a couple of people this week who have brought up that alliance or whatever they're calling it, and that's certainly going to help. But when you look at a school like Vanderbilt, there's schools out there in every conference. They always suck, and they're academics. It's not about football and whatever, but players go there and do that. I think you're going to see more of that. Not just because of the money aspect of it, unless there starts becoming revenue share with all these TV contracts. I could see the alliance and the break off of the super college football, wink, wink, and then everybody else. It's almost like, remember Division I and your Division III guys? Call Jeremy Urban over at Trinity and ask him how that is. I think you might see that, but more at a Division I level. You're going to have these guys playing in this league, revenue sharing, and then the guys that aren't good enough to make that kind of money are going to be playing what we think is college football.
Well, look, I mean, I think there are still student athletes out there that know that they're not going to the next level, know that they're not that good, but they enjoy playing, but they still want to get a quality education. That's why schools like Vanderbilt, Trinity, UIW, UTSA, I mean, name all of them, I'm not disparaging any schools, but schools like a Vanderbilt, which is yada, yada, right?
Did you just put UTSA in there with Vanderbilt?
Well, no, not really. There's different levels. But that, you go there to get a quality education.
I thought you didn't say Texas State with Vanderbilt.
Well, of course it is. It's above Vanderbilt. I mean, look, look at what they produce right here in front of you 5 days a week.
That's not a ringing endorsement for Texas State University.
Of course it is. Oh man, look, it's going to get taken care of. There's got to be. It has to be some guardrails and some rules in place, and I think this is going to happen sooner rather than later. As far as the time frame, it's hard to pinpoint a time frame, but I really have an optimistic outlook with this whole thing that it's going to get taken care of.
James Pledge, our great producer, does say that Texas State has a higher BAC than those at Vanderbilt. Do you know what that means?
I have no clue what a BAC is. A back?
Like, I'm proving my point about the brilliance of Texas State alumni. And if Joe is your flag bearer, your blood alcohol content, I'm sure that is higher than those at Vanderbilt. Although those kids are living in Nashville.
You don't know what their blood alcohol level is. Look, I mean, think about, no, I think it in Texas State, I know it is. There's no question. But think about the genius of those students. See, because they have real life skills.
Life skills.
Yes, they know that who did they play in the bowl game? Rice?
Yes.
They knew that those Rice Owls aren't going to drink. So they devise a plan, and they have a plan. Look, when our beer runs out, we're going over there. Those guys aren't going to drink it. I mean, that's the genius thought process that you can use on the street. It's not like, what's 2 + 2? 4. That's not going to get you a job. But having to devise a plan to go steal somebody else's beer, now that's real life stuff.
Think about the brilliance coming out of the mouth of one Joe Reinigle right now.
That's brilliant.
There was no plan devised.
Of course there was.
No, they improvised in the moment, which is what you should be celebrating. No.
Same thing.
Improvising in the moment and a plan are literally complete opposites.
I have been to Texas State. Let me tell you something. All you're thinking about is how to get beer.
Yes.
That's it. Well, so you're thinking about that before you go to the game. You're thinking about it during the game. And when yours runs out, you're already, boom.
Well, I mean, I would think that if I'm going to a stadium, it's not going to run out of beer. And if it runs out of beer, we will riot.
It's Rice.
But it's Rice. But also, if you saw the crowd there, you looked around and said, "Whoa, there are a bunch of us here." Bobcats supported them in that bowl game.
They did.
You looked across the way, and every Rice fan had a whole section to themselves. So they knew there was beer on the other side.
Sure.
I don't know that it was a brilliant plan.
It was brilliant.
It wasn't
genius.
like Ocean's 11 where they were robbing a casino.
It was genius.
Genius. That's the level that you put genius at for Texas State.
Yes.
I don't think that's
Absolutely.
a compliment. I know you're trying to make this a compliment.
It is a compliment.
I don't think what you're saying at all is complimentary to the brilliance of Texas State alums.
Spontaneous ingenuity is what it's called.
Okay.
Which isn't a plan.
Well, but it is a plan. Because they're always thinking. That's what I mean. The wheels are always spinning. They're spinning.
Are you sure your wheels are spinning?
They're spinning. And I'm telling you.
They might be spinning, but you're not going anywhere? It's like you're driving on ice right now.
There was a plan when they saw that the beer was running out on their side.
Yeah.
The plan was devised. The wheels started spinning, and boom, it's success. They left there drunk. Texas State all the way, baby. That's the way it works.
Again, the higher BAC,
exactly.
which you just said a minute ago. No, you didn't even know what that meant.
What Pledge just put on blood alcohol, though? I mean, what the hell? What are we dealing in letters for, Pledge?
Some of us from Texas State are a little brighter than others.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. BAC. Whoop-de-doo. Spell that.
Mm-hmm. Something that every Texas State alum needs to know. And maybe even write it on your hand, Rob, because we understand.
Mm-hmm.
Rob would write this on his hand. Rob writes
on
stuff
the table.
You should see the doodle of all the stuff that Rob has on our table here. If you're a Texas State alum, or if you're not, write this on your hand because it's a
not
Friday.
If you're driving,
your weekend, and especially if you're driving.
Yeah,
and you get yourself arrested. Yeah, don't do it. But Texas State, we understand you will. I mean, it happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, San Marcos, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas, with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Score big with LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, the MVPs of the field. LS Tractors, the star quarterbacks of farming, perfect for tough tasks for farm, ranch, and landscaping. Dietz Tractors has your all-star coaching staff for top-notch equipment. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships with unmatched dealer support for parts and maintenance. It's a winning strategy that goes beyond the final whistle. Don't miss the game-winning move. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors. Start blue, stay blue at Dietz Tractor in Seguin.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois. It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders with Navage Nasal Care. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Even better, Navage is HSA FSA eligible. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Are you tired of going to the dentist over and over again? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctor's Implants.
We have put a lot of money into fixing my teeth over and over and over again, a filling or a crown or this or that.
At Doctor's Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Home of the 6-Hour Smile.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM, Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it appears the Dallas Cowboys have settled on their defensive coordinator. They're expected to hire Mike Zimmer to replace Dan Quinn, although Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News says nothing has yet been signed. If they do that, either way, they're losing defensive line coach Aiden Durd. The Seahawks plan to hire Durd as their defensive coordinator. NFL Today announced that they are going to play a regular season game in Madrid, Spain in 2025.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues from Las Vegas, brought to you by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. And when you broadcast, Joe, you try to get names right.
You do.
Right? And then you say something, and then somebody says, no, it's this, and no, it's that. So you're reading SportsCenter, and I'm talking with Kristi Scales, the legendary sideline reporter for Cowboys Radio, and she's like, it's dirty.
It is dirty.
So it sounds like something bad. It's not D-I-R-T-Y. It's D-U-R-D-E.
Now, see,
and then a first name is where, he's British, right? And so it's Adden.
It's not Aiden.
Yeah, Adden.
Mm-hmm. See, I just screwed that completely.
No. Well, he just did it anyway. Actually, it's a big loss to the defensive staff, honestly, because really well respected, and I've known Coach Dirty since he was he interned with the Cowboys in around 2013, 2014. He came over from London. A lot of what's happening with the International Player Pathway Program. A lot of the fans, you remember Isaac Aller-Cohn, who was with the Cowboys for a couple years, and a lot of things that are happening. NFL Europe, Adden's been a big part of. He played football over there and then later in NFL Europe, and then got into coaching and has been, with the Falcons, for example. So he kind of came along with Dan Quinn when Dan Quinn came. And so he had that short stint with the Cowboys around 2013, 2014, then came back when Quinn took over as defensive coordinator, but a really good relationship, strong relationship with the young defensive linemen and help develop those guys. We have the nice mixture of youth and veterans, and to get guys like Adante Fowler, for example, who was a first-round draft pick but is a role player, a backup and role player, part of the rotation as a pass rusher, to get those guys to buy in. I think a lot of that is a reflection on your position coach. And so losing Adden, I think, is going to be big.
See, that's going to be tough, Kristi.
Yeah, I think so too.
Adden. I mean, the Adden. No, it's going to be tough to lose him, too. I don't mean that. But for my purposes here.
But it's so interesting, though, is we get so many people that correct us. And if you don't know, it's like, all right, well, you would know. You would know.
Yes.
Because he was saying dirty, and I was it RJ Ochoa who corrected?
No. It was somebody else.
Okay.
It was Shireen Williams told me it was dirt. She said dirt. And so
well, it happens.
It happens.
He's left.
Nobody told me about
it. Adden's used to it.
Nobody told me about Adden, though.
Uh-huh.
No.
That's going to be tougher than Dirty.
But wouldn't you love to be Coach Dirty?
Coach, yeah.
Well, it's funny.
You got dirty players. Yeah, those are my guys.
Whenever I interview, I always try and dirty, try and make it sound
dirty,
phonetic, and not like we're trying to say something we shouldn't say.
The important stuff, Kristi Scales, because you've worked for the Cowboys a long time. If the reports that we're all hearing are actually true and a contract gets signed, Mike Zimmer will be the defensive coordinator. I feel like I'm one of the few that's excited about this. And basically, I was excited because I know Dat Wynn, who used to work here, is very close with Mike Zimmer and a big fan of the way he coaches and what he does defensively. But it seems like the reaction from Cowboy Nation is this is a dud for Jerry Jones.
Well, I think that they want a splashier name in terms of young, hot coordinator or an up-and-comer instead of bringing back someone that's so familiar. But Zim, I am excited about it because I've known Mike since he came to the Cowboys in '94. My first year was '91. I was a producer back then, but got to know him and his family. And I just remember people think, oh, well, he was one of Jimmy's guys. But no, actually, Zimmer's first year was under Barry Switzer. And so this is back when it was Butch Davis was the defensive coordinator. So there were still some people on the staff. If you remember when Barry Switzer came in, it was still mostly Jimmy Johnson's staff, although some of them were getting picked off for head coaching jobs. Dave Wannstedt had left for the Bears a couple years earlier. So Mike Zimmer has the one Super Bowl ring from the 1995 season. So when he first came in, he was an assistant position coach. He worked under Dave Campo. Dave Campo was the secondary coach. And Zimmer came in as the assistant to position coach Campo, and specifically working on the nickel. And then when after Butch Davis left and Coach Campo became the defensive coordinator, then Zimmer was promoted to secondary coach. So he worked with the DBs. And then later, when Campo was promoted to head coach with the 2000 season, that's when Zim was promoted to defensive coordinator. And he stayed. He actually became a Parcells guy.
Oh,
and
well, that's good.
If you remember when Parcells came in for 1 year, he kept a 4-3, but by the second season, I believe it was Parcells' second season, that's when he wanted to go to the 3-4. Parcells, his Giants teams and all that. You guys remember with Harry Carson and Lawrence Taylor and all that, Carl Banks. Anyway, so they switched to a 3-4. So Zimmer had to make that transition. But I think it speaks a lot to the respect that Zimmer has had in the NFL, still has, and the way that he's able to take the personnel and suit it to them. When you have Bill Parcells' trust and he keeps you while you're making a major change like that, I think that says a lot for Mike Zimmer.
No doubt about it. You think this is going to happen? It just sounds like there's some I's to dot and T's cross.
I know that the negotiations have been going on for
Uh-huh.
a couple of days. I don't know if I can say that. So
Sure.
I will whisper it.
Yes,
it's just
That
between
it's,
us.
That's
it's
between
been
the
that
three
it's
of us.
been that has been going
Yeah,
on for a
nobody
couple
else
of
is
days. So I don't know if anything will get announced today. Speaking as someone with Cowboys, we have an event this afternoon out here in Las Vegas. That's a sponsor sales related event. And I know the Joneses are out here now. They came in late in the week. And so I don't know if, again, you have to get, as you said, get the
lawyers involved.
That's
T's
right.
crossed and the I's dotted.
Yes.
And finalize the negotiations. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they wait and make the official announcement next week.
Well, Jerry wouldn't want to steal the limelight.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why you should think that the negotiations are still
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
Well, I mean, we hear there's a party tonight that Jerry's throwing.
Yeah.
Is Zimmer going to be there?
Hey, with Zim, he'll be the guy over in the corner with the stern look.
Yeah.
So is he going to be sitting next to Tim Spence?
The exact look that Tim has now is the one. Here's the thing about Mike Zimmer. I learned so much from Mike when he came in and he was the position coach working with the DBs and, of course, later as coordinator. But he could take the same 4-letter curse word and use it 7 ways in a sentence.
So he is Tim
Noun,
Spence.
verb.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, but he's very intense. It's going to be a different kind of, I'll say attitude, because you don't want it to sound like Dan Quinn was loosey-goosey or anything.
No,
but
do you
it's
think-
less Powley and kind of,
Yeah.
hey,
Do you
and
think-
it's going to be he's an intense guy.
I know Jerry is all about the publicity, good, bad, and different, as long as you're talking about us, right? We deal with the Spurs. Barely any media access. Talking to guys that played for Zim in Minnesota, you do your obligated stuff. Do you think Mike Zimmer would be the one to have a conversation with Micah Parsons about, if you're going to do a podcast, maybe you shouldn't throw your coaching staff under the bus. Maybe you shouldn't throw your teammates under the bus. Maybe you shouldn't do a damn podcast.
See, it's an interesting dynamic these days because the younger athletes, you can't get away with stuff that you got away with in the 90s, And it's the same thing. The teachers that may be listening right now, heck, HR people in corporate America that are listening right now know exactly what I'm talking about. These younger generations, they don't put up with that bleep, So it's going to be interesting, but I like Mike a lot, personally and professionally. Last time I saw Mike was under less fortunate circumstances. His son, Adam, who followed him into coaching and was on his staff with the Vikings, and before that had been with New Orleans and with Kansas City and was with Cincinnati. Unfortunately, we lost Little Zim, Adam. We always called him Little Zim. Adam passed away about 1.5 years ago. And last time I saw Mike was at Adam's funeral, even though it was in Coppell, because when Little Zim grew up, that's when Mike and his family, they lived there near the Valley Ranch facility when the Cowboys were in Irving before moving to Frisco. And so I've not talked, and when you're at a funeral, you don't really get to have a conversation. So
do you think that's one of the reasons why he's been out this long? Like, I need to deal with this personal, and then I'll get back in when I'm ready.
He had lost his wife back when he was with Cincinnati. And so I believe it's when he was coordinator of Cincinnati or I think it was before he became head coach of the Vikings. It might have been early in his tenure with the Vikings, but lost her tragedy. There's been a lot of tragedy that he's had with his family. And you hate, because he's such a good person, nice person. And Little Zim, Adam, was following in the family footsteps. Mike Zimmer is the son of a coach. And that was, football family all the way, right? Mike followed in his father's footsteps. Adam followed in his father's footsteps. And so I don't know that for sure, Jason, to answer your question, but I would find that very reasonable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. And now tell me again, it's Adden?
Adden Dirty.
Adden
Hey, who cares?
Dirty.
Because he's in Seattle
So
now.
the heck with him. We can mispronounce his name, right?
Yeah, Coach Dirty's gone.
Coach Dirty's
Coach,
out.
he did the Cowboys dirty and bolted for Seattle.
I find it fascinating, though, that the Cowboys have blocked a couple of coaches from interviewing with Dan Quinn in Washington.
Well, that's the thing. They still have the guys under contract, right?
Yeah.
And I was fairly surprised about Joe Witt Jr. leaving, just because he had. I mean, yes, he had the relationship with Quinn for a while, but his relationship with McCarthy was even longer, right?
Yep.
So maybe it's because he knew that he wasn't getting promoted to coordinator.
Yeah.
And he's kind of saw the writing on the wall. So don't want to speculate to that. And to be honest, being out here this week in Vegas instead of back home, kind of feel like you're removed a little bit from things. You're not in the building and that kind of stuff. So, but that I think that Joe just needed to take that next step. And unfortunately, it wasn't in Dallas. He needed to move to do that. But it's just like in media. Coaching is a lot like media. Sometimes you have to leave because you kind of hit that ceiling and you have to go somewhere else to take the next step up.
Somebody who hasn't hit the ceiling with the Cowboys has been doing it a long time.
Oh, my God,
and
I'm
doing
so
it
stuck.
Great.
33 years, man.
33
Cowboys
years.
radio. So it's either remarkably consistent or in a horrible rut. So we're going to go with consistent. 'Cause that sounds better.
Yes.
Yeah.
The worst places to be stuck.
There
than
you go.
working for Jerry Jones.
Yes.
Kristi Scales, the Cowboys' great sideline reporter who might have extra access to the Cowboys party tonight, right? Can you hook us up?
You know what? I actually have to leave the Cowboys thing early because I have tickets to U2 tonight.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that is such a great
I'm
show.
so excited. Did you go Wednesday?
Yeah, no, I went in November.
Okay.
But
here at the Sphere.
But yeah, don't go. Me and Joe will go in your place.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure,
you
no
can't leave a party like that early.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, maybe just grab Bono and the Edge and take them because Cowboys parties go a long time, so
They
we can do
do.
the concert and then hit the good part of the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true. Later the better with Jerry and
Exactly.
Steven. That is for
Exactly
sure.
Exactly.
If I can only imagine what it's like in Vegas, knowing what it's like in Malibu.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that's the
Exactly.
highlight of the summer. I know that's why
It
you go
is.
to training camp.
Of course.
Exactly.
And
It
we
is the
play it
Blitz.
By the way,
right
this
there.
giant bottle of
That's
tequila
from Emmitt.
Herradura.
That's Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt left
Yes,
that.
I know that he was here, but I just want all your listeners to know that it has not been, the seal is still there. It
Yes.
has not been unsealed yet.
Yes.
They may think the way you guys are talking, but no, I'm just saying that it's still
No, we
sealed.
talk like this all the time,
Well,
Kristi.
that's exactly what it is. Yeah, well, we've got to be because Stephon Gilmore and Brandin Cooks
Yeah.
just walked by.
Yeah.
They're going to be on with us here in
Great.
a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah. It'd be good.
break open the bottle for them.
I don't know
Yeah.
if those guys would,
Actually, they're pretty. I know
they're pretty healthy guys.
teetotalers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know a few secrets.
Okay, well, I'll
about them,
take
though.
it then. Gosh, all right.
Hey, you can have that bottle
It's our
if you find a
final-
couple
Okay.
of tickets to that party
Our
tonight.
final night in Vegas. I mean, it's perfect.
There you go.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for
I
having me on.
appreciate it.
Thanks,
Kristi
Kristi.
Scales here on the Blitz, and you think about whether you're watching a Spurs game or the big game on Sunday. If you're looking for a great place to go watch the game, you know the best place to watch any big game is the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. My go-to spot with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And I've said many times, go to the Roo Pub hungry because the food there is fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love their fried shrimp. Their chicken sandwiches are great salads, great appetizers. They've got the best onion rings in town. And that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Same plaza there as the brand new Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The Sports Star Boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and Woo!
I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergen X, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, what are you doing up step stool?
The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Super Bowl 58 in Vegas is set. It's the Chiefs and Niners. Hear it right here on your exclusive home for the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues in Las Vegas. Brought to you by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. The great Emmitt Smith will join us in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Looking forward to that, always. It is a tradition here on Radio Row at Super Bowl.
It is, and if you've been listening since we started it too, you know, the Emmitt's Tequila people have already been by to drop off the tequila at the bottle of tequila at the table, and I promise it's still closed. But but everybody comes by and hey, you guys have tequila. Emmitt Smith on the way.
Everybody likes the tequila. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm talking about. Herradura. Emmitt's been with him for quite some time now, right?
Yes.
As a sponsor or a spokesperson for Herradura Tequila. And I have tried some of that, and it's very tasty.
You have tried them, huh?
Yeah. This particular bottle, because you can see it is closed.
Yes.
But others just like it. And it's very tasty. As a matter of fact, was it 2 years ago in California? He had a big party, and we went out there and sampled a variety of tequilas that he speaks for.
I'm trying to remember that night, but it's difficult for obvious reasons because the variety of tequilas that he had, you were playing a game, if you will, where you went over here and you had to collect stamps or whatever from each one, and each spot had a different drink using one of the different kind of tequilas, and the higher the level and all that kind of stuff. And then you got to his private barrel where you were doing you don't take shots of his private barrel. It's more of a sipping tequila. But then you get to that point and you sip tequila with Emmitt, and you sip slowly because you're spending more time with Emmitt while he's BSing. And boy, that guy was having a great time that night.
Yes. When doesn't Emmitt have a great time?
Well, it was crazy because we were over there talking with him, and then Aaron Jones is like freaking out, like,
I know,
you're my idol.
Yes,
which is just cool to see.
That
even NFL players freak out when they meet people like Emmitt.
And how ironic that Aaron Jones comes into Jerry World and just runs all over the Cowboys.
Why would you? Why you got to ruin a good story with some kind of crap like that?
I'm just tying it all together.
Yeah,
that's crazy how that works.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Yes. Check in, your boarding pass is available. Your C-48.
It's hilarious. C-48. Yeah. See, I know better than that, but that's okay.
Well, that's because I just checked in, so you're 821.
Of course. That's what I see. You're Mr. Southwest, so traveling with you, I know that that's going to be good.
There's some benefits.
Yes. Yes, there are.
Time to check into the flight.
Oh, man, I can't believe the week just flown by.
Really
it always does.
It goes by fast and it takes forever.
Right.
The days are long, the week is short.
Well, that's absolutely true. And time goes by fast. And everybody knows this. When you're busy, the day goes by really fast. And, hey, Wednesday, Thursday were just boom, 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 boom. And so it's hard to believe that it's Friday afternoon already.
Well, and it is, and it's, I think the time difference is certainly there. We've got to figure out what we're doing tonight, really trying to get into that Cowboys party.
Yeah. Well, we've got Steven's number. We'll just give him a call.
That's a good point.
Yeah. We'll just call up Steven and say, hey, Steve.
Okay. So you want me to make that call, huh?
Yes, I do.
I just might do that.
Well, I think it needs to be done. I mean, what a way to end off a nice trip is to party with the Cowboys.
Well, the question really becomes, do we try to crash the Cowboys party or make sure Reinigle makes the El Cortez?
Well, I think both can be done.
I don't think so.
No, I do.
I really now here being totally
I'm with
honest.
Reinigle.
No, both could be done. It ain't happening. Here's why. You know what Jerry Jones parties are like,
right?
Nobody leaves those early.
Okay.
I know what you're like to party with.
No, that happened one time.
No, I'm just saying at a Jerry Jones party, and I know this party goes really late tonight. It's not one of those short little 2 or 3 hour Super Bowl parties.
You know where we're at, right? It's a 24-hour town.
Yeah, but I'm not with a 24-hour person.
Well, I tell you what, on the last night in Vegas, I think I could probably be talked into that. I got 5-hour energies.
I have tried to carry you before, man. That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Yeah, well,
if we end up at the Jerry party, and I know where it is, If we end up there,
yeah,
we ain't leaving.
Okay.
I'm not going to want to leave.
Well,
I'm not going to lie.
It's got to be a nice hot dog stand at the El Cortez, right? We're going to have dinner.
Dude, yeah, you get one of them street dogs down there.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, look, that's what Spence has been looking forward to.
Of course it is.
Or actually, you know, down there near the Cortez, I forget what it's called. It's like Evel Knievel's pizza place.
Okay.
That's a hell of a slice of pizza at 3 a.m.
Sure, I'm sure it is.
I'm not good. I'm not sure how good that pizza is at 8 p.m., but I know I've eaten that like at 3 a.m.
It's much better.
And it's fantastic.
It's like Jack in the Box.
And they also sell brownies in there.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of brownies?
Vegas style.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I really won't make it if I start eating brownies like that.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
It's exactly what it is. Emmitt Smith joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, though, we got to hear about Parkhurst New Vision because I got to tell you about it. I'm so excited about what Parkhurst New Vision has done for me and my family. Had lens replacement surgery over the summer, and I see better now than I've seen in 30 years. It is incredible. In fact, my results were so good. My wife, Maggie, had her eyes done at Parkhurst New Vision, and she is loving the way she sees as well. No more readers in our house, no more glasses, none of that kind of stuff. And guess what? Best news is they can do the exact same thing for you and your family. All you have to do is get it started. Call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. Look, when you make that call at 210-585-2020, set up an appointment for a consultation. When you go in there, tell them your good buddy Joe Reinigle from the Blitz sent you. Then pull out your list of questions, your list of concerns, anything that is on your mind. The fine folks at Parkhurst New Vision will answer your questions, and I promise you, you're going to feel great about what they have to say. It just takes the first step to let them do for you what they've done for my family. Give them a call, 210-585-2020.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Hopefully my voice is back, but we are back, and the big game happened. We have some thoughts.
RJ Ochoa and I sit back and look at what we saw. Zimmer is the defensive coordinator. Dak is in flux. What's going on with McCarthy? And oh, by the way, the Spurs continue to lose. So much to do. You better get there early. The party starts at 6.
It is time to play Pass the Pigskin for a chance to win $5,000 cash and tailgate prize packs. Celebrate with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds by entering the Pork Rind Appreciation Day giveaway at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And don't forget to pick up your favorite bold flavored protein packed Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today at HEB.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jason Minix here. Guys, your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Conquer your New Year's resolutions. Go to fixmylowt.com to book online. That's fixmylowt.com.
Score big with LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, the MVPs of the field. LS Tractors, the star quarterbacks of farming, perfect for tough tasks for farm, ranch, and landscaping. Dietz Tractors has your all-star coaching staff for top-notch equipment. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships with unmatched dealer support for parts and maintenance. It's a winning strategy that goes beyond the final whistle. Don't miss the game-winning move. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, live from Radio Row for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan Eagle. I'm Jason Minix. We continue with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage, brought to you by Southern Recipe, Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Synergenics, online at fixmylowt.com. Now joined by the legend, Emmitt Smith. You make our Super Bowl Radio Row every week, man, every year. It's fantastic.
Well, thank you for having me. Come bearing gifts as always. We're just making this a tradition.
It is a tradition, a great Super Bowl tradition to have the great Emmitt Smith on the last day of Radio Row. It's perfect.
Yeah. I'm fortunate and blessed to have partners that see the value in walking on Radio Row, talking about a little tequila, talking about Narcan, nasal sprays, or whatever it may be. But to talk about the game itself is something that I have tremendous experience in, as well as these other things that I just mentioned.
Well, you talk about the traditions, and quite frankly, we need the tequila when talking about the Dallas Cowboys, because it's becoming too much of a tradition to be here with the Cowboys not. And this year we thought, man, this might be the year. The path was wide open for the Dallas Cowboys, and then they hit the playoffs.
Yeah. It was disappointing. It really was, and has been for some years now. I mean, we've been sold and convinced that this is the year, every year, and been let down for the last 20 some odd years, because it's not that I don't want to see the team successful, because I really, really want to see them successful. I want these kids and the other kids that have played the game or are playing the game to experience what I've experienced, to experience this moment, to have their Super Bowl moment and have their Super Bowl memories, so they can share with their loved ones for the rest of their lives. And not seeing the quality on the football field, the consistency on the football field, or even the sense of urgency on the football field, like time is running out on us. It has become very disheartening.
I know the NFL is a tough business. I get that. But, watching you guys in the 90s, the way you played, y'all never seemed flat, especially when the bright lights were on. You guys came to play. And I guess that was the most frustrating thing about that Green Bay game, was that the guys were just flat. They just didn't seem ready to go.
We didn't have room to be flat because we weren't built as a flat team. We was built as a most competitive team that you can ever come up against. When you saw the Cowboys in the 90s, particularly from 91 on, all the way up to the point of 2000 or 2002, I should say. But when you saw us, you knew what you was about to get into. You knew it was going to be 4 quarters, a battle. And if you were able to last the 4 quarters, it became a battle. If you wasn't, you got dominated.
And that's just the way it was because our team was so competitive and we were built inside out, built to run the ball, built to stop the run, and play physical football and fast football for 4 quarters. There was no letting up, none whatsoever. And we were groomed that way because we had to play against Buddy Ryan and that Philadelphia Eagle defense with Jerome Brown and Clyde Simmons and Reggie White and Bill Golick and Byron Evans and all these guys that ran the Bear defense. And so which stopped the run, slowed it down anyway. And so all that's how we were built. We were built to play like that. And so this team and these teams today, some of them are built differently. I mean, when you look at the Niners and you look at the Chiefs, the Niners are built kind of similar to the way we were used to be built, inside out. The Chiefs, they are built also similarly to where we were, inside out. These two teams can run the ball, and they can daggone show throw the ball. So you have the balance of the two of having a nice run game and a good passing game and a solid defense. And special teams wise, they're not shabby. Neither one. So they are the best. The best of the best is meeting on Sunday, and they've earned the right to be there. And so until our guys understand that, until we get back to the basics and the fundamentals of who we are as an organization, we won't see it.
Fundamentals as an organization. And we often talk on our show about Jerry making winning decisions or business decisions. Emmitt Smith, when you think about some of what you've seen them do, and you've got Dak's contract is, they've got to figure out what to do there and who they're going to sign and all that kind of stuff. Is it a business decision or a winning decision?
I think it's both. You can't do one without the other. You got to make great business decisions in terms of obviously what's right for the Cowboys all the way around. But the business decision itself cannot be at the detrimental of the team. And so when I think about the Cowboys, Dak Prescott should be and should remain our quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years. How does that happen? That's where the business part of it has to work out, to where there has to be an understanding. And Dak has to understand also, if I don't take as much, I'm leaving room for others to continue to come here, and I'm surrounded by quality football players that can compete. That's one thing. He can do that. He has the ability to do that. He has the decision to make. Because oftentimes it's not necessarily about the money right now. It has to be about winning. And winning brings capital. Winning championships definitely brings more capital. And so, yes, you cannot do one without the other.
You know, that's interesting that you say that because, look, I mean, I'm for guys getting all the money that they are entitled to or
Right.
can get.
Be selfish. Get what you can.
Absolutely. But do you think
That's the problem.
that's it? Do you think
That's the
Dak will
problem.
do it?
I don't know if he will or not, but that's required. Sometimes it's not about you having it. It's about because you're going to get yours. He's going to get his regardless because he is the franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But he's going to get more if we win a championship. And so it's about really players being unselfish about who they are and what they're doing and coming together because money shouldn't be an object right now. Right now, the main focus should be winning, and it's not about the capital. But like I said, Dak Prescott is and should remain our franchise quarterback because who else are you going to get? If you go get someone else, you're developing a player, and you only got 4 years to develop him. And who's to say that the guy that you go get is the right guy? I mean, chemistry has a lot to do with continuity of an organization. And so from that standpoint, I would rather keep the chemistry and the continuity that we have and build a better chemistry and a stronger chemistry if we can.
Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith joining us here on the Blitz. So with Dak Prescott, keep him. But do you believe he can be the guy that can get the Cowboys to the Super Bowl or keep him because you don't want to have to start over?
No, I honestly believe he's a guy that can get us to the Super Bowl. I mean, oftentimes I think coaches has a way of making the player look great, but also look bad. And the player has to understand, here's what I mean by that. We play in the Detroit Lions. We're under 3 minutes. We kick the ball up to the Lions. They come out, they throw a pick, we get the pick. So now all we got to do is run the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
And all we got to do is run the ball to do that. Dak Prescott didn't. Mike McCarthy did. The offensive coordinator did. And on the third pass play, Mike McCarthy didn't throw the ball out of bounds. Dak Prescott did. When do your brain kick in and say, I need to stay in bounds? Or I don't need to throw the ball? And when do I take over from a mistake that's already a mistake when I compound it with my mistake? Whether it's the coordinator or the quarterback or any other player. That's just an example of some of the failures that I saw. The importance of what's important, the game, winning the game right now and running the clock out and not giving these guys time to drive down the field on our defense. That's what's important. So there's a combination of both. McCarthy could help the team better by making a better decision in terms of that place, those series of plays. And that could have done a better job of saying, okay, I know I don't need to throw this ball out of bounds. I can take a sack, or I can just take off and run. Is that a game manager, or is that managing the situations? To me, that's managing situations.
You're the perfect guy to ask this question to. If Dak Prescott gets a play call, like you're talking about, from Mike McCarthy, and he's in the huddle talking to his guys, can he say, I know we called this play, but I'd rather do this? Did Troy ever do that?
Great question. Does he have the ability to do it? That's why I say great coaches empower their players to become great players. If I make a bonehead call and I know it's a bonehead call, or I see something in the defense that's not working, either I'm going to call a timeout, or you're giving me the ability to say, okay, this play is not going to work. I'm going to alter and I'm going to counter with this play. And it may be a run play. And so I don't know if Dak Prescott has been equipped to come into the game and say, okay, we have a run pass option. And we have 10 of those plays that are run pass option. We show up in these 10 formations, and I see this, we're going to pass. We show up in this formation, and I see this, we're going to run. That is empowering your quarterback to become a better quarterback. I'm not sure if Dak Prescott have that ability.
Emmitt Smith here on the Blitz. Let's talk about the running back, because last year on Radio Row in Phoenix, Zeke was out, Pollard was going to be the guy. And I want to play a clip of what you told us last year on Radio Row.
You don't know what it's like to be the number one. Being the number one means that everybody on the opposing team and every coaching staff is preparing for the number one.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at that tape right now, this offseason, of every number one player that they got to go up against. And they're breaking it down, trying to study his strengths and his weaknesses. So when the season rolls around, the number one guy is already prepared for it. The scheme is set up to stop the number one guy. So when your number two step in and he makes a big run, you're like, oh, shoot. Until the number two guy becomes the number one guy, now they preparing for him. They're like, what happened? He getting beat up. You cannot have it both ways. This is a problem with America. Everybody want to have it their way. This is not a damn Burger King. You cannot have it your way. You got to have it one way or the other. And you got to learn how to deal with these things.
Yeah, you want to say you were right? You were right. We've been playing that a lot. You were spot on 100% with that.
Okay. Thank you. And I like that because it's the truth. It really is the truth. And it played out the way it did with Tony Pollard. People are disappointed because he don't have a 5.0 yards per carry like he did a year ago. And they're disappointed that, he's not having a great year because he has a 4-point-something yard per average now. Guys, and then talking about what's wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's not getting enough touches. And we're not committed to running the ball. Even though Mike McCarthy said we're going to run the ball this year. I'll lie. I'll lie. When you going to commit yourself to run the ball, you go to Tony Pollard as a coach and you say, Tony, get prepared to carry the ball or touch the ball at least 15 to 20 times. Or, Tony, be prepared to carry the ball or touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. I may run it 15. I may throw it to you 5. I may run it 20, and I may throw it to you 5. Either way it goes, we put that ball in your hand. Think about what that does for the psyche of a player.
That is inspiring. That says to me, Coach, you're committed to me. You know what? I'm going to be ready. You call my number, I'm going to show up. Because you're committed to me, I'm going to be more committed to you.
Is Tony Pollard the guy? I mean, that's a decision the Cowboys are going to have to make this offseason. Can he be that number one guy if they get committed to him?
Who else is out there? You think Derrick Henry? You think that's the answer? I don't. I love the answer. I think with the 1-2 punch that we have with Pollard and Dowdle, that works. That works for me. We don't use it enough. We don't even really know what we got because it's underutilized.
Run the ball, the great
Run the ball.
Emmitt Smith with Herradura Tequila here on Radio Row. Next year, man. Next year.
Next year what?
Are we going to be talking about the Cowboys in the game? Yeah, here we go. Emmitt, always appreciate you, man. Emmitt Smith. The legend.
Yes.
And he leaves tequila.
He
Even
sure does.
better.
Oh,
yeah, let's dive. What did you get? I mean, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Staying with Dak, and he likes the 1-2 punch of Pollard and Dowdle.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I do. And I said that yesterday. I think it was very unfair to label Tony Pollard a bust after 1 year getting it done. And I love what Emmitt said about being committed to the run. If you're going to say that, Mike McCarthy, then do it. You know, put your money where your mouth is. And I don't think Mike McCarthy did that this year.
You know, you go back and you think about what Tony Pollard told us yesterday on the Blitz. It was yesterday,
yes,
right?
It was.
It might have been Wednesday.
I think it was yesterday.
Hey, go back and listen to it. The audio vault at sasportstar.com, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. That it was about the Carolina game where he started to feel like Tony Pollard again. But he didn't have the explosive plays. And I do think a lot of what Emmitt told us last year, and he, you know, obviously appreciated us saying, yep, dude, you were 100% right.
Absolutely, yes.
If you're going to use Tony Pollard as the number one, and I don't know that the Cowboys will, that they'll pay him. We have no idea what's going to happen on the business side of football. And Pollard talked about that. He wants to be in Dallas, but he's going to the biggest paycheck. And can't blame the guy for that. But Tony Pollard as a bell cow running back showed this year he's not that guy. Throughout his career, we've never seen that from college or up until this year in the NFL.
Did you just listen to Emmitt Smith?
Well, if you'd let me finish, damn it, I'll get to my point.
I'm just saying.
If they use Rico Dowdle as a 1-2, more of a 1-2 punch, then I think you will get that. But Dowdle wasn't any more consistent. He was spot duty, like you'd see Pollard raise his hand and come out. But if they go kind of like what they do in Detroit with those two running backs and the different packages they have, where they do get more of that legit 1-2, not a dominant one, and then every now and then you see Rico Dowdle, I think then you could have something. And I think that is what Emmitt was saying. Not the way those two were used this year.
Well, exactly. And that's my point exactly. He says commit to the run. Cowboys did not commit to the run. They did not go to Tony Pollard and say, be ready to carry the football 20 to 25 times or touch the football that many times. That's what he was saying. Tony Pollard didn't get an opportunity to see if he's a number one guy or not. And that's why I say I think it's very unfair to label Tony Pollard a bust after this year. They didn't commit to him. Mike McCarthy said they were going to. They didn't do it. They didn't commit to Dowdle either one of them. You got to commit to the running game if that's what you're going to be.
Well, I agree with that, except for if Tony Pollard didn't feel like himself until the Carolina game, which is pretty deep in the season, and they weren't having success, did Mike McCarthy not trust that run game or trust his running backs, whether it was the running backs or the offensive line issues that we know that they couldn't run the ball? So, well, let's stop trying to run the ball. I mean, I think it's probably a combination of both because Tony Pollard wasn't the same guy early on in the season. How do you keep running the ball if you're not running it effectively? And you're not going to get effective. So it might be, we're blaming Mike McCarthy for not committing to the run, but maybe there wasn't something to commit there. The better plan was doing what Mike McCarthy did.
In the playoffs, you got to run the football.
You do.
I think we all agree on that. And that's way past the Carolina game. and they still didn't commit to the run. So, I love what Emmitt says, and I think if he thinks it's unfair to label Tony Pollard a bust after 1 year because they didn't commit to him. And I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think if Tony Pollard comes back to the Cowboys, then they need to take Emmitt Smith's advice and commit to the run the football. That's going to help Dak Prescott. But look, who was it? Baldinger yesterday, Brian Baldinger. The Cowboys had a pretty cupcake schedule this year.
They did. They played a bunch of trash cans.
No, tomato cans.
Tomato cans.
That's what he said.
Tomato cans.
So maybe there was a false sense in some respects of Mike McCarthy saying, you know what we're doing is working great. We're going to stick with it.
Well, and again, the Carolina game was week 11. You know, that's 2.5 months into the season for Tony Pollard to feel like he did. And next year, as he told us yesterday, this offseason is about
just getting ready and not
rehabbing.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Yep. NFL is going to stream playoff games next year, exclusive rights on Amazon Prime, according to the Wall Street Journal. Well, I have Prime, not Peacock, so but yeah. Now we're talking playoff games.
Yeah, that's
how much will Bezos pay to get a damn Super Bowl?
Oh my gosh! Hey, I'm sure he'll pay whatever he has to. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And we did have that Kansas City playoff game, right? That was in the playoffs, wasn't it? Against Miami.
Yeah.
So they already did that with Peacock. So they're just going to expand it. Interesting stuff. And look, the money's just too much. And how do you say no to it? If Amazon's coming in and saying, we'll give you $1 bazillion, Roger Goodell says, okay.
Yeah. And, you know, somebody in their office at DirecTV or at Spectrum or at Comcast, they're all pooping their pants right now because they realize the NFL is going to drive more cord cutting than anything else.
Yeah.
With older people.
No doubt.
I mean, the kids are already watching everything on their phone.
I know. We are. We are. It's amazing.
It's insane.
Youngsters, we cord cut.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
It's a good thing your kid came over and set up the TV for you when you actually made that change.
Nobody did that. My kids don't come over to do stuff. It's like they come over to eat, to drink, to swim.
Yeah.
That's what they don't do any work.
Well, yeah, we know. Coming up, Rampage Jackson.
Woo!
Quinton Jackson, Mr. T.
Looking forward to it.
In the new A-Team movie. He was a fighter, too. He's a big guy.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Don't piss him off, all right?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
You're asking me or you?
You.
You're the one that pisses everybody off.
It's what I do. It's my job.
He joins us next here in Las Vegas. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Road coverage continuing, brought to you by the Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds and Synergenics.
Hey, look, if you have not been out to the Golf Club of Texas lately, you haven't been to the Golf Club of Texas. This place is incredible. They have done some great work out there, and it is just an awesome spot to go if you're a golfer for sure. I tell you what, the golf course is fantastic. It feels like a country club, but it's not a country club. It's a Lee Trevino designed links style golf course, and it is a lot of fun to play. If you're not a golfer, you need to get out to the Golf Club of Texas as well. Their restaurant, the Tin Cup, always open to the public, and I tell you what, it is one of the best restaurants with the best food on that side of town. It is incredible, and they've got a great friendly staff that's going to take care of you. I've been out there. I've eaten out there. The food is simply fantastic. Get out to the Golf Club of Texas. It's right there, Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Get out there for dinner. Take the family out there. It's a family-friendly environment. Get your buddies out for a round of golf. Either way, no matter what you do, get out there and enjoy the Golf Club of Texas. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th. Presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Progressive asks, what do a middle school slumber party,
Let's stay up all night. Yeah!
a sleep-deprived girl, an early morning paper route, and a poorly thrown rolled-up newspaper have in common?
Hey, my window!
They can become a fast-breaking news story.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and on-the-clock protection.
The insurance company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent maracas smell amazing. You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
COVID-19? I don't want to risk missing work. I booked an appointment for this season's updated COVID-19 shot designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn about a vaccine option and book your COVID-19 shot on schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get 20% off our award-winning sauces with code SPORTS at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is breaking at this hour, and it is official. Former Texans head coach Bill O'Brien is the new head football coach at Boston College. It appears, at least for now, the Dallas Cowboys have settled on their defensive coordinator. They're expected to hire Mike Zimmer to replace Dan Quinn, although it's being reported that contract has still not been signed. Is it Aden Dirty going to Seattle?
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons
The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds and Synergenics. Of course, you can listen to the Super Bowl here on 94.1 Sunday, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. We expect to hear from the man calling the Super Bowl, Kevin Harlan, before the end of the show today.
Well, I just got scolded by Swampy over there.
Scolded.
Reprimanded. Because
hang on a second. You tell the story.
Well, because he asked me to tag every Sports Center with the fact that the Super Bowl between San Francisco and Kansas City can be heard on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on Sunday. So there you go. I'm finishing my Sports Center, and it is complete now.
All right, good for you. I'm glad you got it complete. And Kevin Harlan will join us at 5:02. So in an hour from now.
You guys, when I do the 5 o'clock Sports Center, please remind me of that because I'll forget again.
Dude, it's your job.
Well, I got to remember everything.
Well, I mean,
breaking news. I got all this stuff. And
yeah.
I didn't say the Super Bowl's on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, why didn't you?
Because I need to say that San Francisco's taking on Kansas City in the Super Bowl right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Who's in the Super Bowl?
Kansas City and San Francisco. Right here on San Antonio Sports Star Sunday.
So you can listen to the game.
You can listen to it right here.
On 94.1.
94.1.
Brought to you by
Flight by Yingling.
And that's going to be on Sunday?
On Sunday.
Not Saturday.
Not Saturday,
but
no.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Do we know what time that broadcast starts?
Do we know what time that broadcast starts?
We do.
What time would that be?
Broadcast starts at 4, kickoffs at 5:30.
Okay, broadcast
Wait.
starts at 4.
We're only doing an hour pregame show?
Well, and that's good. That's a plus.
Oh, that's an hour and a half.
So the pre is at 1.
It's at 1 o'clock.
So the pre is at 1 o'clock.
Well, that's like a pre.
Well, no.
Dude,
I don't know what your stamina is like, but I mean, there should be pregame starting at 8 a.m.
Well, there will be on TV.
There will be.
But on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1, it begins at 1 o'clock. You can listen to the Super Bowl right here. If you're listening to us now, keep it right here because on Sunday, the Super Bowl will be broadcast on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 1 o'clock.
With all of this, you know you're going to get a sternly worded email from Swampy saying that you didn't drive it home enough that the game was actually going to be on the radio.
On San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1.
That's it.
That's it.
With the Brock Purdy slander.
There is no Brock Purdy slander.
No, I've had to look at Brock Purdy the entire week because where I'm sitting here in Radio Row, there's a huge banner up, and it's got Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuels there, and I've had to look at those guys for 5 days.
You don't see Patrick?
No, because there's a pole in my way.
There's always a pole in your life.
No, there's a big, huge, giant pole right there in my way. I can't see the thing because I got a pole that's staring at me. Exactly. And it is staring at me.
What is it with you and polls?
Dude, I don't know. We haven't had any polls this week. The hell's Ryan been doing?
Who the hell knows what Ryan's been doing?
I took a poll. We need a poll, Ryan.
I mean,
think of something.
It'll be some random time. Yeah, I mean, granted, we've got a 2-hour time difference, but like randomly at whatever, I'll get something in. It's like, can you collaborate with this on like Instagram?
Yes.
Yes. So Ryan must be working. Although he started the week sick.
He's been working. I know that.
And he works his butt off. But but we've been pollless. Although quite honestly, we
speak for yourself, buddy.
when it comes to YouTube, in that regard.
Yes, that's one way to put it.
Although looking at at the YouTube comments right now. Longtime listener Vince Trevino in Las Vegas watching us live on YouTube. He had lunch at Guy Fieri's.
Said the burger was great.
Had a great burger. We had free wings again.
We did.
And then another, we've had a couple of listeners that have come through.
Yes.
And I'm not sure how they're getting on Radio Row, but
I don't know.
We met a couple people, dudes rolling around in Spurs jersey. Turns out he's Spurnandez on Twitter.
Sure is.
Never met him
and he's wearing it. He's representing the Spurs too. Had his old school Spurs jersey on.
Yep.
That's a true fan. You're wearing your Spurs gear around in a 10-win season.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'm still a fan, too. I'm just a little bit irritated.
You're just not wearing Spurs gear?
No. I've actually, I guess, wearing Kansas City gear today. I've got bright red.
Yeah. Army-Navy?
Army-Navy.
You and John Mamola, who is the program director at a sports radio station in Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
You guys are wearing the exact same shirt today, and you are wearing the exact same shirt on Monday.
Isn't that funny? I've been to 2 Army-Navy games now, and they give out these nice half sips, right? So this was the first one I went to, the red one. And so I wore the one they gave me, last year, just a few months ago. It was a blue one.
Yeah.
And so... yeah, we coordinated that, I guess. So we'd start the week and end the week, Army-Navy.
Yeah, well, and, I think, as we get ready, and we'll make our predictions a little bit later on in the show. I know you're leaning San Francisco. I'm leaning Kansas City. But I think your shirt says bet on red. Bright red. Because San Francisco, you could claim, has a little red, too.
Yeah, they do. As I look up at Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuels. They're going to be wearing their white jerseys and gold breeches.
Did you see breeches?
I did.
How old are you?
Breeches. Pants. Leggings. Oh, my goodness.
And when you're listening to the game on Sunday on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, Kevin Harlan will not describe the gold pants as breeches, although when he joins us here in about 50 minutes.
50, as in 5-0.
Yes, which is going to be interesting because and you know how things go on Radio Row. At 4:45-ish, Brandin Cooks and Stephon Gilmore are going to join us.
That's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And it's too bad that they're not playing in the Super Bowl.
Here we go.
That will be broadcast on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on Sunday.
Well, here's the thing. If the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, we would have the Super Bowl on our station, but not with Kevin Harlan, but with Brad Sham.
We would.
And probably the Kevin Harlan broadcast would be over on 1250.
Now, don't confuse people, though, because the Cowboys aren't in, so we're broadcasting.
I think everybody knows the Cowboys aren't in. You constantly remind us as if we need reminding.
Well, I just want to remind you of that and the fact that we've got the Super Bowl, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Is that going to be on Sunday?
On Sunday.
1
o'clock with the pre-show.
With the pre-show.
Yeah.
And then the regular pre-show.
Yes.
Just the pre-show.
Yeah. And the kickoff's at 5:30.
At 5:30.
5:30?
Which is 3:30 here in Las Vegas.
I just wanted to make sure I got that.
You're going to get a sternly worded email.
I think, I've got the swamp stare going on right now.
Yeah, but with that stare, you don't know if he's happy or sad. It's the same all the time.
It is.
Yes. See, now there's a little bit of a smile. See, so I don't think he's staring you angrily that you didn't promote the game enough. That we're going to have the game on 94.1 coming up on Sunday.
We get suck on that all week.
Yes, we do. And all day Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll suck on that. Maybe we should record something.
What do you want to record? I mean, what would you like to record?
I just think we should. So
ladies and gentlemen, Rob Thompson is awakened from a nap.
With wings.
Yeah, Rob shows up with wings and grabs our tequila.
I haven't seen Rob move that fast and that energetic and peppy the entire week. Dude, that guy went to sleep about 8 o'clock this morning and just woke up a few minutes ago.
Dude, our Uber was picking us up and Rob rolls in.
I had no idea the airport.
You realize that.
Yeah.
You realize that we're on radio right now and you're having a conversation without a microphone.
And nobody can hear you.
Nobody can hear Rob Thompson.
I just does Rob know that the Super Bowl is on our air? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pledge,
Sunday?
I want you to bring Rob into the camera. We can watch Rob eat wings. Because we had to get a different camera because Rob Thompson, when he packed up this morning, took the camera we've been using. Oh, so we've had to manipulate our setup this afternoon. I don't think I packed it, but RJ now he's blaming RJ Ochoa.
This is radio. Now, do you honestly
Rob Thompson
that I had the forethought to grab my camera and pack it this morning at 8 a.m. after about 2.5 hours of sleep?
You got
do you
2.5
really think
hours?
That I had the forethought to go, you know what? I'm going to grab that underneath this rat's nest. I forgot. Really, I did. I will not take credit for that. But I do, at this moment, know where the van is.
But you didn't
at exactly 2:14. I have a pretty good idea.
In San Antonio.
We're on the 7th level.
7th level.
You Ubered back, didn't you?
I Ubered back. No,
Yeah.
look, I literally got the last parking place on level 4.
Oh, boy.
Level 4B.
Here
But
we go.
We are all the way to the back.
Well, you're going to go get it and drive it up, right? I mean,
no. I'm Ubering back. I'm going to eat some wings. I'm going back to the house. I don't know what y'all are doing. Okay, Boomer.
We're going to be drinking tequila later.
How was Emmitt? He was starting to make the rounds this morning.
Absolutely. Emmitt was great, as usual.
Yeah,
he's always great.
He was getting tuned up a little bit.
Yeah, he's always great.
Was he mad?
We had a good time.
Mad at the Cowboys.
Yeah. Did you have a shot?
You know what's funny is that I was surprised by some of his answers. That Stack's the guy. He'd like to see him another 4 or 5 years, and didn't blame Tony Pollard for the running game. He said they didn't commit to him enough.
I'm glad you brought that up because a year ago, when we were talking about Pollard taking over the mantle, he was the first one to say, "Man, that crown is heavy." The number one guy, it's going to be hard.
We actually
played
that clip for him.
We did. So I'm glad that he didn't fault Pollard for a lot of that. We had Pollard on earlier in the week, and he said, his ankle didn't really feel right. Ankle foot didn't feel right till the Carolina game.
Yeah.
And so.
Which is week 11.
Yeah. So, I wish I'd have known that then, so I wouldn't have been so hard on you then. But at the end of the day, he had a good career, and I think
his career's not over.
Well, I'm saying with the Cowboys. At the end of the day,
You think he's gone?
he's going to be. Yeah, there's not.
Unless
he's willing to take a lot less money.
Emmitt doesn't seem to think so.
You think he'll bring it back?
His exact words were, "Who are you going to get? Derrick Henry?" He doesn't like the idea of Derrick Henry.
I like Derrick Henry, but no.
I think if the Super Bowl goes the way I expect it to, and I think that McCaffrey's going to look good doing it. Maybe there'll be a little bit more of an emphasis on the running game, and that might help the market in general. But, all these guys look alike. I can find a lot of guys that are about 5'10", 225 that can cut hard and every now and then pick up a blitz. I can find those guys.
And you look at McCaffrey, and then you look at Kansas City with Pacheco, who was a 17th round draft pick.
So, it's just going to be so hard to justify any kind of money to Pollard. But if he's willing to take less, I know he's got a nice sleep number deal, so it might kind of add up.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Are you going to eat your wings on camera?
I would like to, but
right.
is anybody else going to use this week? Or do they want the lovely aroma of a wing in their
Well, we
do have somebody coming up.
Who's coming?
We got Brandin Cooks and Stephon Gilmore at 45 after 4:45, 2:45 here. And we've been expecting Rampage Jackson to come by.
I know that name.
Yeah. He's a fighter, MMA type guy.
He's a little older, though.
He played Mr. T in the remake of 18.
Well, the Mr. T character.
I was going to say.
B.A. Baracus, yeah. But isn't that his name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's B.A. Baracus.
Yeah.
B.A. Baracus.
Of course, James Bludger would know.
The Mr. T role, right?
Is he here?
Mr. Baracus.
And he's got a fight coming. He's a boxer now. He's got a fight coming.
Yeah, he's going to get into the boxing.
How old is he?
Oh, I don't know how old.
I mean, he's not a young dude.
He was born in 1978.
He's 45. He's 45.
So,
and he'll
like
kick
I
your
said,
ass.
he's not a young dude.
Yeah.
He said he's going to stick his fist in his opponent's
Yeah, I better get out of this chair. I can tell you that. I better vacate and take these wings.
I think you need to eat those wings on camera.
No, because Kevin Harlan, Stephon Gilmore, Brandin Cooks would not appreciate smelling wing sauce the entire interview.
It's a great idea, Jim.
It's day 5 of Radio Row. Wing sauce is one of the better smells around here.
No kidding. No kidding. It's always weird this time of the week at Radio Row.
Forgive the smell of burnt pizza when you get home.
What?
Did you fall asleep?
This chicken's good.
Why? All right.
I didn't know modern ovens had 3 doors.
Yeah. 3 doors?
What?
I'm just gonna. There are 3 oven doors in our oven. 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. The 2 on the bottom share a burner, 1 below, 1 up, and then there's the one on the top.
Did the house catch on fire?
No, but you might have. No alarms went off
that you're aware of.
Well, at least not to the fire department.
Okay,
I warned them off.
Okay.
No, nothing that bad happened, but I did burn the bottom of a pizza, and I was highly upset. I mean, I was hungry.
How many frozen pizzas have you eaten this week?
The first one I didn't eat at all. I made and went to bed. And this one I didn't hardly eat at all because I burnt it. So how many did I make or how many did I eat?
You made a bunch.
Well, 2. I made 1 that you ate.
Oh, good.
No, I had a slice.
That's more than I had. And then I made.
Well, it's because you fell asleep.
Well, yeah, I'm not blaming people. I'm just saying I didn't eat it.
It sounds like you're blaming.
This one I put in, and even the pizza it had a setting. It had a pizza. It's a pizza. Boom. The thing said 18 minutes. I put it in for 18 minutes. The top was wonderful. And as I was cutting, I thought, wow, this is a crispy crust. Wow. This is crispy. This is crackly crispy. And then
Lord,
I thought the
bottom
looked a little darker than it should have been.
Yeah.
So these wings are wonderful.
Yeah, enjoy your wings. We've got more coming up from Radio Row. Stories from Rob Thompson. You think about this weekend, and I think the weather in San Antonio is supposed to be pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah, the weather's going to be, I don't know. I haven't been to San Antonio. I was about ready to give you a forecast, but I don't know. Doesn't matter, though, if you go to the Big Blind on Sunday and watch the big game there because you're going to be inside in one of the schwankiest places in San Antonio. The Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio. Upscale environment, catering to players from all abilities. And for the big game coming up on Sunday, the Swifties versus San Fran. That's how they have it there. You need to get down there. They've got TVs everywhere. You can play, and when you walk through the door, pick your team. Who's going to win? If your team wins, guess what? You don't pay for your chair that day. You get it free. Not to mention the fact they're going to have a complimentary taco buffet as well. Pick your team. Call your shot, and you just might be playing poker all Sunday. Complimentary of the Big Blind. You know where the Big Blind is. It's right down from the Roux Pub and the Angry Elephant. In fact, the Big Blind is owned by the owners of the Roux Pub and the Angry Elephant. They offer food, beverage served directly to your table. And again, you are not going to have a bad view of the big game on Sunday. The Big Blind, go check them out. It is fantastic. It's right there at 281 and Redland Road.
The Sports Star Boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Woo! I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergenics, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs and cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. Are you a veteran, active duty military, or already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Show your love this Valentine's with exquisite fashion jewelry from Diamonds Direct and save an extra 20%. Now through Valentine's, all fashion favorites at Diamonds Direct are on sale. All earrings, all bracelets, all necklaces, stackable bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and more. Lots of romantic and timeless gifts for under $500. Special financing available too. Don't miss this. An extra 20% savings on all fashion jewelry favorites at Diamonds Direct. Shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Attention all homeowners, do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just call 800-NEW-WINDOWS for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Call 800-NEW-WINDOWS right now. Don't wait. Call 800-NEW-WINDOWS. 800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Super Bowl 58 in Vegas is set. It's the Chiefs and Niners. Hear it right here on your exclusive home for the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues. Brought to you by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Talk for a minute. I've got to respond because we just got invited to the Cowboys party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Well, we're going to have an issue because they can only get us 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lottery?
No.
No? Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, it's unbelievable. People are starting to, as the last day of Radio Row, the guys or girls that have shows and in their shows, they pack up and you got to go. You got to get out of here, which we'll have to do after our show is over as well. And so you kind of see people just kind of creeping out. It's always kind of the sad part of it, right? I mean, it's you realize it's coming to an end, and that's the way it is. So that's kind of sad. But it's been a great week here, and there's no question about it. Topped off with the cherry of Emmitt Smith today, who was just fantastic. And, man, the guy's great. He's a tradition for us.
Well, and we've got Stephon Gilmore and Brandin Cooks coming up in about, 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Give or take. I keep seeing these guys. They're walking around, and they've got flowers that they're handing out. So I'm curious, because for us to go home tomorrow and hand our wife a flower.
Wow.
Right?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Well, because they'll think that we thought of that.
Up to me after or during the break. Idea, Jim. Exactly.
Well, I mean,
Jason.
For coming off the airport, I mean, that's like 7-Eleven flowers, man, on Valentine's Day. You can't do that either.
You put that in the upper bins there, or whatever they call the
upper bins.
What do they call those things up there?
Overhead compartment.
Overhead things.
Where are you in the plane?
In the plane.
Well, dude, it's not a bouquet of dozens of roses.
Well, it's one. I'm not going to hold it for 3 hours.
Why not?
Wow.
It's Vegas Airport, man. Who knows what people are going to think you're into? Right? Just throw it in your check bag.
A flower. Dude, that's genius. Mr. Romantic here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, honey, I got you some flowers in Vegas, but they got smashed. Oh my goodness! No, I tell you, it's I can't wait to talk to Brandin Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore actually had shoulder surgery. Remember, he got hurt, and he actually had surgery on that shoulder. But he's supposed to be ready to get back by the time this summer at some point in time. So anxious to talk to him about that. And a lot of the things that they do, they're representing. Have you seen those commercials? He Gets Us.
Yep.
That's going to be during the Super Bowl again this year, and I think it's fantastic. So, looking forward to talking to those guys. Yeah, I think we've got a special guest here, right here.
Yeah, right here.
Either one, take your pick. Well, thank you. Everybody knows that.
Well, good night, everybody. That was a good interview, man. Thanks for stopping by.
We put those on because you need to repeat that once you get your microphone on.
I was actually lying. I felt bad. I felt bad for you, so I had to give both of you guys equally insults.
Rampage Jackson joining us here on Radio Row, and actually, I mean, let's be honest. You'll kick both of our asses
at the same time,
right?
Right. You can throw him in there too.
I mean,
that's not throwing anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's easy. But
look at his face. He's like, no chance, buddy.
Yeah, no chance. The problem is, you look at that face, right? You don't know if he's happy, sad. It always looks the same.
I bet he's super tough. I would be.
He's got that old man strength.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about him.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think I can tell by his face. He's been in some scrabbles.
Dude, life has been pretty good for you,
man. I can't complain. I'm really happy with where my life is right now. You know, I'm a country boy from the city of Memphis.
Yeah,
and never thought that I'd be traveling the world, like falling almost in love in Japan, and you know,
almost.
That's a story.
I married a Japanese woman. I was on my way to being in love with her until she left me.
Oh man,
I was almost in love with her, but then she
left you.
She left me right before I could fall in love. But I had already married her though, because I thought that I wasn't going to meet a woman as good as her.
Yeah,
she was like at that time she was the best girlfriend I ever had. I was out, and she left Japan and moved to. I was a single parent, and she moved there, and you know changed her life for me. I was like, oh man, I ain't gonna never meet nobody better than this one. Plus, she got pregnant. That's the reason why.
There's that. Now I was reading. You've got what, 5 kids, right?
Wait.
No?
How you hear I got 5?
Research, man.
The fifth one's not supposed. I'm hiding the fifth one. That's not supposed to be out there.
All right. So you got 4.
I got 4 that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but 3 of them have a middle name of Rampage.
Yeah,
not the 4th one. Research, man.
The 4th one is a girl.
Well, you can name her Rampage.
No, I named her Paige. Her middle name is Paige.
Okay, you just left off the Ram.
Yeah, I was going to name her Rampageja, but her mom said she would hate that. And when she turned like 1.5 years old, we told her what her middle name almost was, and she bust out crying. And I was like, oh yeah, thank God I didn't name you Rampage.
Well, how do you come up with what's special about Rampage?
Oh, my cousin gave me that name when I was 8 years old.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm the nicest guy on the planet. I shoot you. I think I'm one of the nicest guys, but I have the worst temper ever.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's really bad. But I've learned how to control it. I had some counseling and some therapy. Keep me out of jail. They made me go to anger management.
Yeah.
So I completed those courses. They gave me a certificate, but anger management was making me angry. I hated that damn class. I was like, y'all dumb. Like, I have anger issues. You gonna put me in this class to annoy me? But I did it. And but I used to play that video game Rampage as a kid. I'm a gamer. And my cousin used to my family used to tease me. Well, now you guys call it bullying.
Right.
My family used to tease me because when I used to get real upset, I would hyperventilate and I would fight them and beat them up. And I used to get in trouble for beating them up. My mom used to get me in trouble for beating up my cousins and my sister, everybody who used to torment me, but they used to I used to hyperventilate. You know how people had to blow in the brown paper bag?
Sure, yeah.
I didn't have no brown paper bag, so I would turn all. I know it's surprised that you can say a black man can turn red, so I was turning all red, or huffing and puffing, and that was amusing them. And I used to punch holes in the walls and stuff and everything. And just like he said, you just like that video game Rampage. You just like that video game Rampage, because that's what the guy, they destroy the building and eat the people out of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't eating no people. I don't be eating stuff like that. I don't do stuff, but I was destroying stuff. And my cousin, and it stuck with me. You know what happened? I tattooed it on my left arm when I was 14 years old. My mom put me out the house. I was rebellious. I said, screw this. And I tattooed myself like a jailhouse needle thread Indian ink. And then after that, it stuck. Everybody knew I started wrestling, and it was on my arm. I'm the only kid in high school with a tattoo. And because I was already like 17 years old in the 9th grade by this time, so they thought I was an adult. I had a mustache, beard. They was like, why y'all let this grown man with tattoos wrestle these kids? And they were still kicking my ass.
Really?
Yeah, because I was new to wrestling, right? I didn't.
Yeah.
And so they stuck through high school. I was slamming people, Rampage, and boom. I didn't know I was going to be a fighter, but I
think you did, right?
Well, I wanted to be a pro wrestler.
I mean, you found a career that fits you because
I grew up fighting.
Yeah.
I like fighting bullies. I like beating up bullies. I'm the bully beater.
Well, I like that.
Pause. I had to say, damn, pause. After pause. I had to say pause after saying something like that.
Everybody needs a bully beater, though. I mean, right? Because nobody likes to get bullied.
No, listen, yeah, I can't stand bullies, but one thing I can't stand is the new age term for bullying. Somebody make fun of you, they're not bullying you. I grew up off sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That's what I grew up off of. So when I'm talking about the bullies, I'm talking about the guys who used to beat up people, pick on them, take their lunch money.
Yeah,
those are guys I can't stand, because I don't see nothing wrong with people making fun. Like I gained a lot of weight, and online people was bullying me, quote, about how fat I got, and that made me lose weight.
There you go.
So I don't see nothing wrong with people making fun of people make fun of your shoes, make fun of your clothes. That's not bullying. But what's bullying is people doing bodily harm to other people.
Yeah.
But I have to be careful saying that, because now the times have changed and people doing on the internet. The kids think it's forever, and the kids was like not taking it well. So that's why I think that's why they call it bullying now. But I'm against that as well when people don't know how to defend themselves verbally as well. But my thing is, I hate people.
You are a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy, but I hate when people beat up people that's smaller than them and all this stuff. I hate
that. You are a nice guy.
I'm the nicest guy on the planet.
You are.
Yes. Just don't piss me off.
Don't piss you off. You're going to get into a fight. You're going to go. Now, you think about channeling the rage, right? When you get in the ring, you have to do something to get angry, or you just walk in and it's time to go to work so I can flip a switch. Like, you got a fight coming up, right?
Yeah, I don't want to get angry in there. I've only lost my temper in one professional fight. And I never want to lose my temper in a fight again. I don't think I can control it. I don't think it's fair for my opponent. And so I try my best not to lose my temper. But where I do lose my temper is in sparring for some crazy reason. When I'm sparring with guys, especially if I spar a guy I don't know, and I feel like he's going a little bit too hard and trying to like show off a little bit too much, I lose my temper. And a lot of times in sparring, I end up hurting people and knocking people out in the gym because I lost my temper. But then in the fight, I try to I don't take it personal, because in the fight, his job is to knock me out. And when I lost my temper in that fight in Japan, it wasn't because he was trying to beat me or not hurt me. It was because he lied to the referee, and he had did something else before. But he healed me in the face with his heels, because we was on the ground doing jiu-jitsu, and he dislocated my jaw a little bit out of the socket. And so I went down to cover up, and he was flattening his hips, because your heels, your heel, your elbow, and your knees are your strongest weapons on your body. And so I was covering up, and he told the referee, he's knocked out. And in Japan, those referees hated my guts. They used to give me a yellow card. They take 10% of my purse, the points, and they used to do a lot of,
I wouldn't go back to Japan if I were you. You're not having much luck there.
I love Japan. You just, got to roll with the punches.
All right.
So that made me lose my temper. He lied.
Yeah, he's lying. He's lying. Now, you got your fight coming up. Obviously, you're in great shape.
I'm in great shape. Ever since I've been with Bioaccelerator, I'm in great shape.
I was going to say, how do you maintain
Bioaccelerator?
What is that?
What is?
Oh, y'all not up on the new technology.
No, talk to us about it.
Bioaccelerator is a stem cell company they're based out in Colombia, and I had my body got beat up fighting for over 20 years, and I heard about stem cells, and I was a little skeptical about it, but I went over there and tried it, and it worked. it worked. And I got shot to my knees, both my knees and my shoulder and my left hand. 'Cause I was having pain out of my hand. And even before I left Columbia, the pain in my left hand has left and it haven't came back. But the pain in my knees and stuff came back. Because I kept training and stuff like that. And they warned me like, hey, you're a professional athlete that's doing the same stuff that you got injured for over and over. So you need to come back every year.
Yeah.
So I've been too busy. It's hard for me to get over to Columbia with my busy schedule. So I need to go back over there and do it. But it changed my life. I think it put 10 or 15 more years on my fighting career. Because I'm 45 right now.
Yeah.
I had my first boxing match.
I know.
Nothing like to start a new career at 45. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, I love fighting. So I don't care. Hopefully I can kick ass at 55.
That's right.
65.
Why stop there? Wait, hold on.
Yes, sir.
You going a little bit too far. By the time I was 65, I want to be retired over on some beach somewhere where I can wear like Speedos
No,
and drink some Mai Tai.
First off.
And look at young ladies running around on the beach.
Everything you just said is great except the Speedo part, man. After that, you got to stay working because otherwise, you turn 65, you go to the beach, you're going to look like that.
I know.
And so you got to stay fighting.
No. But it's going to be, if I look like that, it's going to be payback for all the people that did it to me when I went to Hawaii. I saw people in Speedos that shouldn't have been wearing Speedos.
Most people shouldn't be wearing Speedos.
Yeah, but you know what? In America, we're the only country that don't be wearing it on the beach. So
thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay everybody else back because I had to see it when I went overseas. They got to look at my old wrinkly ass on the beach. It's payback.
Rampage, man, appreciate you stopping by.
Nice to meet you.
Coming up, a couple of Cowboys are going to join us. Stephon, Gilmore, and Brandin Cooks live here on Radio Row in Las Vegas. Of course, the big game coming up Sunday. It is the final game of the football season. You want to add some excitement to that game? Make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app and play the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players and select whether they will be higher or lower on a player's stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money in at one single night. Fantasy game, but it is legal in Texas. So get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com or download their app. My promo code STAR, use that, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you'll get a special pick of higher than a half total yard to use on your first pick-em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Hopefully my voice is back, but we are back and the big game happened. We have some thoughts.
RJ Ochoa and I sit back and look at what we saw. Zimmer is the defensive coordinator. Dak is in flux. What's going on with McCarthy? And oh, by the way, the Spurs continue to lose. So much to do. You better get there early. The party starts at 6.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect.
Got any more? Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-785-9545. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-785-9545 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-785-9545 to see if you qualify. That's 800-785-9545.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, live from Radio Row for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues, brought to you by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. We've got a couple of Dallas Cowboys that are joining us here as they're walking up. We got to, with everything going on, get everybody settled. So
Over
we
here,
do
sir.
with live radio.
You guys can decide where you want to be. Is that all right?
I think it's pretty easy.
Man, this is pretty cool.
This is very cool.
Very cool. Brandon, I'm Joe. Let me turn him on.
Yeah, hang on, let's turn on microphones.
How about that? There
This is
we go.
what we do. Brandin Cooks, Stephon Gilmore of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz. And, Stephon, we talked with you back in training camp. I'll get your headphones on before I ask you a question. Although this is our first chance to get to talk with Brandin Cooks. I going with a Yankees hat?
Yeah, I just like the look.
You just like the look. Just like, how's I mean, this year, we're the Cowboys affiliate in San Antonio, and playing for the Cowboys, the expectations that come with it, the frustration, right? Talking to Tony Pollard yesterday, he said he checked out of everything. He didn't even know Dan Quinn was the head coach in Washington. He checked out that much. He literally had no idea.
You guys don't talk to each other?
That's a good one. What are you doing, bro?
Did you guys knew that, right?
Yeah.
All right. I asked him, I was like, how does that happen? He's like, man, has nobody texted you? Nothing, right? How did you check out after the season ended the way it did?
Yeah, no, I spent time with my family. We utilize those first couple weeks to just, be with my boys, my wife during the season. Man, my schedule's so strict, so I feel like I miss so much time. So just getting away. We got about 20 acres out in Oregon. Just built the home so we could just get away from it and spend quality time with my wife and my sons.
Nice. Stephon, you had a little procedure, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a little shoulder. Nothing ain't going to stop him, though. Ain't going to stop me.
No, I wouldn't think so, but everything's good. You're going to be back, right, this summer?
Yeah, I'll be back in probably 3-4 months.
Okay.
So just had the procedure, it's part of it. We all get something. So just rehabbing right now so I can come back strong.
No, I kind of thought when I hurt shoulder. You might be in a brace or a sling or something.
I just got out.
He just got out.
He healed like Wolverine.
Hey.
See what I'm
Well,
saying?
see, Brandon, his life is different than ours. So when we were in Oxnard, you were on with us, and you had the day off was coming up. It's like, what are your plans? And he's like, I think I'm going to go get a massage.
Yeah.
Or a boat ride.
Yeah.
Then he's like, I'm going to get a boat and go get a massage therapist to go out on the boat with me. And I'm like, that's a different life.
Well,
wait a minute.
I ain't do all that.
There was nothing like that.
Oh my God, that's y'all crazy.
Relax.
He did say the massage. You took the massage on the boat.
Yeah.
Let me try the boat. Y'all crazy, man.
And I know the season ended in a very frustrating fashion. Everybody, but all in all, 12 regular season wins. The way the both sides of the ball played for the most part of the year. And let me ask you, Brandon, your first year in Dallas, it took a while for them, I think, to figure out how to use you.
Took too long, but I think hopefully we nip that in the bud and we start faster. But no, it was great, honestly. I love being there, love being with my teammates. I really can't work, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, right? Especially when you expected to do something, you feel like you can do it and you don't do it. Like, it is what it is at this point, but I just want to get back to work. I just want to get back to work to be able to erase that feeling as fast as I can.
Well, I mean, your body of work speaks for itself. I mean, Brandon Cooks. I mean, we know what is different about playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And I could ask both of you guys than any of the teams that you played for, because there's a lot more media scrutiny.
Yeah, no, you said it.
Right?
You said it. Yeah, there's a magnifying glass on everything that you do. Good or bad. It's zooming in everybody. And so that's the difference, right? Because, like you said, the expectations is always high, and that's good. I love that as a player. Like it challenges you to meet those expectations.
Yeah, it's like every week is a Super Bowl, bro. It's a big game. You play
at what?
You play at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. I don't think we play like 1 o'clock.
I think we only had one noon game.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
And I was on some other teams.
Big as the Super Bowl.
We had all.
That's what Drake said.
I love the night games. It's this prime time. It's everybody watching. So I just love playing in those situations.
Well, the big games in the Cowboys, and if they could be on Sunday Night Football every week, NBC would love to have that. Brandon, I think about the different quarterbacks that you have played with, playing with Dak, and the scrutiny that he faces. What is it about Dak, the scrutiny, whether it's warranted or not, that separates him from some of the other quarterbacks that you have played with?
Well, the scrutiny comes from, at the end of the day, he got what's called a star on his helmet, right? When you're a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, everything is just it's nitpicky. But at the end of the day, he's great. I truly mean that. I feel like I played with the greatest to do it and never played his game. And he's not far behind. His process, his mental load, the way that he attacks the game, I love every bit of it.
I know you guys worked out in the offseason, but does it take a while for a quarterback and a wide receiver to get that chemistry together?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, yes, but it's really become that it takes a little longer to get that trust together, because you can practice all the throws on air that you want, but where that trust builds is game day, game plays, making plays, and I feel like that's where a little bit of that slow start happens, because he's still figuring me out at the end of the day.
And on the defensive side, you lose Diggs. Bland plays well, puts a lot more pressure on you. How much fun did you have this year with that defense?
Man, it was amazing, just because it's been a while since I played on. In New England, we had a great defense, but since I played with a great defense, the ball got to come out fast. You can jump routes. You got great players on the front that can get to the pass rush. To the quarterback as fast as 3 seconds. I told Michael he got 3 seconds. I tell D-Law he got 3 seconds. So it was fun.
It was fun, and obviously with Dan Quinn leaving, Mike Zimmer seems to be the possibility.
Announced it yet? No.
Not official. Crossing I's or crossing T's, dotting I's. It's not official yet. Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore joining us here on the Blitz. You're out here with a great message. Tell us a little bit about everything you guys are doing here in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl.
You know, he gets us, is, you know, really just magnifying, you know, how Jesus lived and how he loved everyone, no matter what your walk of life is, no matter where you come from. So he gets us a great campaign to be out here in Vegas, to to show that love, spread that love. We feeding over 1,500 families, doing a football camp tomorrow. It's really to just talk about love your neighbor, and that's the greatest message Jesus always talked about, no matter what.
You know, when I first saw those commercials, he gets us. I mean, it's just it's inspiring. I mean, it really is inspiring, and it's a great message. I got to say one thing before I let you go, though. We heard from somebody, and don't hate me for this, that you guys eat very healthy. Yeah, you do that, except when you're out here together. There's maybe a bag of chips involved.
Don't tell on us.
When the lights aren't around.
I needed something. And that was baked, though. That was baked. All right. We did like 20
appreciate it.
That was cool, y'all.
Appreciate it. More from Las Vegas coming up here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancer pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is official. Former Texans head coach Bill O'Brien is now the new head coach at Boston College. Is Mike Zimmer going to be the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys? Well, he's expected to be, but it is not yet official, as we just heard from Stephon Gilmore and Brandin Cooks. And if you have not heard the Super Bowl this Sunday, you can hear it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
For the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from Las Vegas continues here, brought to you by Synergenics. Go to their website, fixmylowt.com. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Get into HEB and get some pork rinds. Get you ready for Sunday, which is Pigskin Appreciation Day.
It is Pigskin Appreciation Day. And I tell you what, we talked to Mark yesterday from Southern Recipe. Oysters he was making with some crushed up pork rinds. It sounded fantastic.
Yeah, it really does. Sorry, there was some weird noise. What was that noise coming from?
I have no idea.
All right, well, we got it fixed. I think. I don't know.
It's just nice to turn things off. It works out well.
Well, that's it. When in doubt, restart your phone. When in doubt, do this. When in doubt, lots of things that you're able to do there, which would be really good.
Well, absolutely. Now I'm on our YouTube page, and it's me and Kevin Harlan.
Well, Kevin Harlan isn't there yet.
Am I in the wrong stream? Pledge?
I have no
No,
idea.
you're in the right one. Jason fell out of it. I resent it to him.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Jason fell out of the stream.
I'm on the Kevin Harlan one. You sent so many of these things.
Well, you're not supposed to leave the show one.
Well, I don't think I did.
Well, apparently you did.
Or he might. There's 86,000 tabs open.
I didn't do it.
Of course you didn't do it. I've got two that say Kevin Harlan.
Okay, Micah Parsons. Blame everybody but yourself.
Well, I've got two that say Kevin Harlan. It rolls with it. I have no idea.
It's going to work out. Man, this is our last hour.
This is our last hour.
Wow.
Where
did it go?
We talked to Emmitt Smith earlier, and we're going to replay that interview coming up because, well, it was damn good, and it's Emmitt Smith. And if you missed it, we want to make sure you hear it. And I tell you what, Emmitt Smith, his passion, his knowledge, and I think it's worthy of hearing his opinions. And then I'm not saying it's going to change your mind if you hate Dak Prescott, even if Emmitt says Dak isn't the problem. But he does say some things today that he told us earlier, and you'll hear it when we replay it coming up in about 30 minutes, that might make you rethink a little bit about your criticism of Dak Prescott. To a degree, maybe as much the accolades we give Mike McCarthy, dude, your play calling was bad. And Emmitt brings up some things that most haven't brought up yet, and I think that's worthy of diving into as part of the conversation.
Yeah, and we will, and I don't want to give it away, but I think some of those things are worthy of a discussion, and we'll save that for after the interview because I want you to listen to it and then react to it. But look, Emmitt and Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, these guys care, and that's why they're outspoken about the Cowboys and their situation right now. So. And I appreciate that as former champions, the last champions that the Cowboys have had. Those guys are passionate about this franchise and this football team, and so you kind of have to give them their space, if you will, to be upset, to be frustrated, because look, fans are doing it, and we get that opportunity every day. But those guys, when they come on, I love the fact that they're open, they're honest, and let us know how they feel.
Well, and that isn't that half the battle most of the time?
Absolutely.
And Emmitt is so passionate. We saw Michael Irvin on Radio Row earlier today, and I'm kind of bummed we didn't get him on with us, but that passion that he has for the Dallas Cowboys. You hear it with Troy Aikman. You hear it with Moose Johnston, those legends that won rings. And when you think about it, those three, they're Hall of Famers. But there are guys that played for the Dallas Cowboys that didn't win a Super Bowl ring, but because of the star on their helmet, like Brandon Cooks just said with the criticism that Dak Prescott gets, you got that star on your helmet, it comes with it. But also what comes with it is the ability to make money the rest of your life because you played for the Dallas Cowboys. And if he were to be a quarterback that finally leads this team back after damn near 3 decades, he'd probably end up being maybe the most I don't want to say most famous, not most successful, but, highest profile quarterback just because he's doing it in the social media age where influencers are at a time that wasn't really there when Troy was doing it. It certainly wasn't there when Roger was.
Well, and that's why I don't feel sorry for Dak Prescott and the criticism that he gets. I mean, he knows what he's in for. He's a big boy, and he knows what he's in for. But yet the fact that he's making $40 million a year, probably will be making north of $50 million a year before it's all said and done. I don't feel sorry for that guy. And like you said, he's going to go on to a career and doing something, but always will be a Dallas Cowboys quarterback. But look, it's exactly what you said. To become legend with the Dallas Cowboys, you got to lead this team to a Super Bowl. And I'm just not convinced that he's the guy to get it done. He needs a lot of help. They're going to have to put a lot of people around him, which I think they did this year. And he's got to be able to get it done and not poop the bed in the first half of the first playoff game they play.
Well, and that's half the battle. And until he does it, that's going to be the knock on him. Yeah, a guy like me who, I'm a Dak guy, but playoff Prescott, dude, I don't care about 12 regular season wins anymore. I don't care about great regular seasons. I want to see playoff success. Can you lead this team farther? We know Dak's, to this point, his capability is he'll need others to lift him as opposed to him lifting others. We're watching Patrick Mahomes' football team. Josh Allen, kind of in the same area. He's got a lot of weapons, and until he gets it done, but the spotlight on Buffalo isn't quite the same as the spotlight. And there's and there's a lot of quarterback. Look at like a Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was a great quarterback. Never got it done in the postseason. So when you look at it, it's difficult to do. But when you play for a franchise like the Cowboys, that's what it is. I mean, you look at, the Yankees. Gilmore was just wearing a Yankees hat because it's fashionably cool, right?
Yes.
Right.
It is. Is it fashionably cool?
Well, that's what he said.
Well, it was fuzzy too. It's velvety.
Yeah,
what do you call that? Looked like remember the old corduroy jeans?
Yeah.
So it looked like that.
Sure.
I mean, it's a good-looking hat. I wouldn't wear it, but it looked good on him.
Well, and that's it. But he was wearing it because it was the fashion part of it. That was cool, I guess. I just look at this and you sit there and you have no idea. You're not sure. But until he does it, or his career is going to be exactly what it is. And that guy had a great career without any rings.
Tony Romo.
It's empty. It's Tony. And you're talking about with Tony, undrafted. You got Dak was a fourth-round guy. Think about all the first-round quarterbacks that never got it done.
Yeah.
You would say for Tony, he had a great career.
He did.
Whether he won anything or not, the fact that guy had a career, you could almost say the same for Dak because of where he was drafted. But your expectations when you become a Dallas Cowboy and you sign contracts like that is for a hell of a lot more.
And anybody that's out there, an aspiring quarterback, and you happen to get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, you better know going in, you're going to take more heat than any other quarterback in the National Football League, and that's just the way that it is, and you either deal with it or you can't. Speaking of broadcasting royalty.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got it right here. Hi, Kev. Right over here, buddy.
Yeah, come on.
Right here.
Kevin. Yeah, let me make it easier for you. Absolutely. Good seeing you, man.
Nice to have me on. Thank you so much.
No, we appreciate you coming over.
Amanda's just going to start talking. Yeah, you just start talking and no introduction because that voice is so distinctive.
I love that player. And I, of course, have known Pop forever. When he was at Kansas as an unpaid coach with Larry Brown, and RC, I love RC. RC's a dear friend. So I've got a lot of ties. And is Tyler Self still with the Bill Self's son? Is he still in the scouting department for the Spurs?
Yes.
I think he might be too. So anyway, all those guys are just wonderful, wonderful people.
Well,
how are you guys doing? Good week? Has been a good week?
It's been a fantastic
Good.
week. Yes.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that.
And we're getting to finish off with you.
I'm glad I could be on. I'm glad I could join you.
I mean, we talked to Emmitt earlier. We're going to replay that at 5:30 because he left us some tequila. So
good.
Yeah,
We're
obligated. Yeah, that's exactly
Brian,
what
for
we're
this
doing.
to leave when I get out of this chair.
Right? Well, you wouldn't be the first to steal a bottle of tequila from us. Now, I want to, but before we get it, you sat down and you were saying Wemby, as but Mike's and we were talking. I need a good, clean Wemby call from Kevin Harlan.
Okay, well, let me just, I'm happy to do it. But when we are doing the 2K NBA video game, right, I spent a day and a half and about 450 lines of Wembanyama. And that's all I did for hour upon hour. Wembanyama on the corner. Wembanyama in back of the. Wembanyama is picked up by LeBron. Wembanyama. Like I was saying in my sleep. I look over and I call my wife, Wembanyama. I'm sorry. That's all we were doing. But his name has got such great rhythm to it. As a broadcaster, it's all about rhythm and pacing. And when you say Wembanyama, it just kind of rolls right off your tongue. So, I can't wait for him to do big plays. we had him in a preseason game down there against Miami. Had him in that great game against Milwaukee, which was Antetokounmpo against Wembanyama. And then when they brought in Kelishvili or whatever that guy's name is, it was like, it's the vowels. The vowels were just like, So anyway, I love that kid, and he's got the right voices in his head with Pop and that staff and Brett Brown, and he's going to be fine, and he's going to be everything that everybody hopes he's going to be.
I think so.
Do you want the Wembanyama right now?
Sure. Can we do it?
Yeah. Well, what do you want me to say?
Well, you did a great little montage right there. That was fantastic. Well, we've got a promo on our air where you say, Wembanyama jackhammers it home.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was a big play. And he did jackhammer it home.
He did. That's what he does.
I'm sorry. I've done so many of these, I'm starting to lose
you got to save your voice.
I did the Lakers and Nuggets last night for TNT in LA, and that was an exciting game. And I woke up this morning to be on with somebody in New York, which was 5:30 LA time. And I go, oh my God, I got to do all these stations today. I could barely talk it this morning. It's come back as it always does. But anyway, I'm glad to be on with you here.
Well, and Kevin, you look at that, and I know we're going to talk about the game, and we're carrying the game Sunday on 94.1, the San Antonio Sports Star. You're going to be all over our radio station because you can listen to the Super Bowl on our station on Sunday. Our boss doesn't think we're promoting it enough. Right?
I've known Tim for God knows how many years, 30 plus years, 3 decades, more than 3 decades. So I'm sure he's promoting it very well.
Yeah, no,
which is his MO. He is a legend in this business. A legend in this business.
Don't say that out loud. But please don't.
He's one of the great people in the business, and we've known each other forever.
When you look at the Spurs, and Pop said in training camp, this year is about winning. And they've done anything but.
Yeah.
The fact that we're Super Bowl week and we've got 10 wins. Fans are frustrated, as you can imagine, with the people that you get to visit with. What is the perception of what is actually happening this year in San Antonio?
Well, I'm first of all, I did not know he said that. And if I would have heard it, I would have said, well, I think just the opposite. We've got a young team to begin with. Let's just take our time with this kid. He's what, 19 or whatever he is?
Just turned 20.
So he's got his whole life is ahead of him. His whole career is right there. Now listen, we know Pop is 73, 74 years old, and he would like to get one more shot at it. I don't blame him, but I would think the worst thing you can do is push him too hard. I'll draw it to it doesn't equate, but I'll give you. The Green Bay Packers had this Jordan Love who's taking the place of Aaron Rodgers, right? And this whole year for Green Bay was not about winning. It was about seeing if Jordan Love is going to be the next in a great line of Green Bay quarterbacks, Favre and Rodgers. And now this guy, who they drafted number 1, but has sat on the bench, and now they got to, okay, it's time now to show what you can do. And he did. And they were patient with him, and he hit some valleys, and the team wasn't winning. Then at the end of the year, he picked up his stride. He got hot. The team played well. and they made the playoffs, and they won in Dallas, as you well know.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Jason?
remember that game? Remember that game in Dallas they played?
I was there.
Yeah.
It was awful.
It was
awful.
But from just a football fan standpoint, to see that kid go in that stadium, do it against that team, was like unfathomable. If you saw him play in the middle of October, and we did their game in Denver against the Broncos on CBS, he was horrendous. But they stayed patient. They stayed the course. They altered what they were giving him, and the rest is history. And they're not going to give him a gigantic contract. So I would think with Wembanyama, it's the same thing. This is a player who is going to be a generational talent, and it's not about winning now. All it's about, and Pop, I love him like a father, but right now it's all about getting him acclimated to the physicality of the NBA, the speed of the NBA, the precision, the skill. It's so different than that little league he was playing in Europe, in France. This is big-time basketball, right? Against the best players in the world, and everybody in the world wants to play in the NBA. This kid's been drafted number 1. There's no player that's been talked about more. So I think, catch your breath, give you that second night of a back-to-back off. Let's watch your minutes, which they were early. Is that now gone?
It's gone.
Yeah. That's one great thing. He has stayed relatively healthy. Am I right? Yeah. So my thing is let's just be patient. Don't tell we're going to win now. Say we're going to win, but right now it's like when you plant the crops, we got to water the crops, and we got to make sure they get plenty of sunshine and the right kind of weather and the right kind of message every day from the people that are fertilizing those crops. And I don't mean to be hokey, but my point is that let's not rush. We all want to win yesterday, but he'll develop. He's going to be what we all think he's going to be. Let's not say we're going to come out of the chute win.
But Kevin, we're spoiled in San Antonio. You remember we had a year dynasty.
Listen,
and so we want that again. And with Tim Duncan, when he came in, he had a bunch of veterans around him.
Yes,
so it was a different process.
It was unfair. It's unfair to grade him on the same scale.
Right.
Wembanyama. Yes.
So I think Spurs fans, me included, at some points, would like to see more of a mix of veterans and young players around.
Collins, I think, when he's healthy, is probably that right kind of guy, and he's back now playing. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I saw him, he wasn't playing yet. No, but I get it. But what I thought the beauty of what they were doing with the Spurs was they had this young core, and all these players that are going to surround him eventually. And maybe even guys that are going to kind of move down as opposed to being starters now and first guy off the bench, they're going to probably move down as they get better players, draft better players. Now, listen, how great is it? They're going to have this record. They're going to be in the lottery. They're going to get another terrific player, a starting caliber guy, maybe make a trade. Maybe what free agent would not want to play with Wembanyama?
Exactly.
And in your great city and what might be a new arena down the road. So listen, why speak? Just let's stick with the process. And it's not the process they were doing in Philadelphia. They've got the kid. They know what their centerpiece is going to be. They've got these nice auxiliary parts around him, and they may not be starters now or later, but they are now. Get. You're going to be a part of it, but we may move you down, and we're going to draft again. We're going to sign somebody, and you're right back in it. And you've been patient with this kid. I know they're being patient. I know they're giving him the right stuff. I know it. But to say, and I know they don't want to instill him with losing, because there is something that is a part of winning that makes growth happen. You progress faster. You buy in quicker. All those things. But he's just 19. He's this crazy angular French man that is just trying to get used to the new country, new league. This old guy yelling at him, or he doesn't yell. Actually, they just talk to him. And he's got the right minds. Let's catch our breath here. But I get it. We all want to win. People are paying a lot of money for those tickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're paying a lot of money for those tickets. A lot of people are invested. That's the biggest thing in San Antonio, aside from the rodeo. That's the biggest thing in San Antonio. So my thing is Wembanyama.
There you go.
Love
the great Kevin Harlan here on the Blitz. You got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. How many Taylor Swift songs have you been listening to come up with good reference points when Travis Kelce does something?
I'm not going down that road.
Thank you.
Other guys have done it, and I'm not. They write them out, and I don't play that game. Plus we're on radio, and we can say, yes, she's here and she's in a booth a couple down from us or wherever she is. And we'll make mention because she is a part of the story. And that's what our job is, to report the story. And she has brought a whole different section of people that are now interested. People go, these ratings, the game has never been. Yeah, when everybody and their grandmother's got that app to bet on their phone, and Taylor Swift is bringing over millions and millions and millions of people that don't know anything about the NFL, don't know what the letters stand for, but know number 87, they're going to watch and they're going to be a part of it. And great. It's great for the league. It's great for their brand. It's investing and you're widening your reach. I'm all for that stuff. But man, oh man, the game is just it's always been great. But it's not these gigantic leaps in the ratings are not, and ours are affected as well. They're not because of the game. They're because of Taylor Swift and the gambling. Everybody's gambling.
That's right.
They're hitting that app and they're going, I'll bet $10 they're going to throw on this play. Or I'm going to bet $5 they're going to fumble on that. Whatever they do. I don't gamble, so I don't know what they're doing. But I know people are into it because of that.
Yeah, I wish I didn't gamble either, Kevin. So that's
no.
That's a story for
another
day.
He's such a gambling. That's why.
And we thank you for listening.
Yes.
Good night, everybody, from Las Vegas, Nevada.
I tell you what, it's going to be a great game. It is
going to be fun. It's got
the potential to be a really good game.
It's going to be everything that last year's game was. It'll be as good. The two teams are too evenly matched. And there's so many ways that they'll counter what the other does well that I mean, it's a fourth quarter game and maybe the final two series of the game. It's going to be terrific.
Well, and you're going to make it.
Well, thank you. You're nice to say that. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you, guys.
You.
Yeah, thank you so much.
More coming
Me
up.
and my new bottle of Herradura. Adios.
Yeah, exactly. Takes
silver in a way.
You can have Aquafina, not Herradura. Good stuff. The great Kevin Harlan here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I want to tell you about Stevens Roofing. Look, there is only one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. That is Stevens Roofing. A quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort. It means confidence. It means peace of mind, protection for all of the things that you love. Look, if you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, you want to work with the experienced team that brings local roots, value, and a vast knowledge of the craft to every job. That is Stevens Roofing. If you need a new roof, if you just want to make sure your roof is okay, call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994, or online at stevensroofing.net. Call Stevens Roofing. They're the best in the business. 210-785-0994.
The Sports Star Boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and Woo!
I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergen X, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is Rob Thompson. I'm here with my brother, Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com.
I'm a lawyer for you. I've helped you.
Yes, he has, and many others here in San Antonio. And that's why I'm so glad I get a chance to talk to you today about what happens when you get into an accident.
It's overwhelming for everybody involved. You have this paralysis of what to do next, who to talk to, how do you get medical care, or you're in the hospital and who's going to pay for this? It's this swirl of anxiety, and many times it's even worse than the injury itself. You have to help people through that situation. And I tell every client the same thing. Don't worry. I've got this. I will take care of this. Just worry about your family. Just worry about getting healthy. If I can do that for you and maximize your recovery, you stay in business, you keep clients. And for 30 years, I've kept every client I've ever had. I don't lose clients. I represent their family and friends because that's how seriously I take my job.
A lawyerforus.com. You can find him at 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com.
Football's biggest game day is almost here. Total Wine is your place for all your game day needs. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Football's biggest game day is almost here. Total Wine is your place for all your game day needs. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Rue Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Have pain? Have chronic pain, low back pain, knee pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain? I can help. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we get to the root of your pain. We don't just give pain medications. We do the proper investigation to see what is the root cause, and it's covered by your insurance. Reduce your medication, avoid surgery, and get rid of pain for good. Call for your free evaluation. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, where we get to the root cause of your problem. 210-468-1891.
Super Bowl 58 in Vegas is set. It's the Chiefs and Niners. Hear it right here on your exclusive home for the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I guess we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
We're talking about the plans tonight because I've got the official invitation for the
we're excited
Cowboys party.
Yeah.
Entertainment, special guests, Nosh and Network.
Nosh.
That means food.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought that was a group. That's not a singer?
Nosh?
Nosh?
I'm sure.
There is a Nosh something, right? Isn't there a Nosh?
No, that's Nas.
Nas.
Little Nas X.
Little Nas.
Well, there's also a Nas.
Who we see some rapper in here today.
Yes, we did.
No,
Flava?
Flava Flav.
There you go.
Dude had his clock on, his necklace, and everything. That was pretty cool.
There are certain times you sound so damn old.
Dude, I'm just saying. I couldn't remember his name. Flava Flav.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I didn't even know that dude was still around. Saw him on a Comedy Central roast. They roasted him one time.
Yeah.
I guess he was or he still is married to Bridget, Rocky's old wife. You know, what's her name? The tall
Bridget
blonde?
Nielsen.
Bridget Nielsen.
Rocky?
I don't know if he's still Sylvester Stallone. Rocky, same thing.
Dude. If you want to go see Hunter Hayes on 420, caller number 9 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hunter Hayes playing the Aztec. LiveNation.com if you don't win them. Does that give a caller number?
I don't think so.
Not yet.
What is Brandon Cook's number? That's manageable,
3.
isn't it?
That's 3, yeah.
You know, we saw C.J. Stroud earlier, too.
We did see him earlier.
And
sure did.
His number is 7.
It is.
So if you take 7 and 3, caller 10, those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 10, you're going to win tickets to go see Hunter Hayes at the Aztec Theater. We'll talk with Emmitt Smith coming up in a bit. You think about the big game this weekend, and I know you're going to do some big-time grilling. Make sure you upload those photos to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page. And, you know, this weekend we should see a lot. And this weekend over at Tri-County Meat Market, they will get you ready for Super Sunday with all the specials that they have there at Tri-County Meat Market, both locations. You got 20% off all your wings, 20% off your beef fajitas, 20% off your baby backs. Maybe if you want to do a brisket, that's not 20% off, but they've got that picanha, everything you need. They always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. Two great locations, Ralph Air Road and on Huebner, online at tricountymeat.com. And, of course, if you're doing grilling, upload those pictures at the sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page. Because, with the big game, you got to make your picks, right?
You have to.
Do we have to today? Well, I guess we got to make it official because I think people just listening to the show know which way we're leaning.
We're not on the air any other time before the Super Bowl, so you can't make them on Monday.
Well, I'd be right if I made it on Monday.
Absolutely.
Regardless, I wish I could put all my bets in after I knew what was happening.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be nice. Now, I know, you can listen to the Super Bowl Sunday on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. There is a pre-show that starts at 1. And I saw Swampy put that you're going to do an hour special at noon so you can give your picks.
Sure, I'll be there. Don't know where there is, but I'll be there.
You don't know where you are right now.
Pledge is going to be out and about on Sunday.
He is.
He can make his picks then.
Well, I don't know. I keep waiting for him to play the damn music. I've set it up 3 times that it's time for Prime Picks on the Blitz.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
All right, making it official. I haven't looked in I think Pledge is. Are you a game ahead, Pledge, overall?
2 games ahead.
So I've got no chance of winning this thing?
No chance of winning this thing.
Well, son of a bitch.
But it's pride.
Yeah.
At this point.
And Joe has no chance of catching me.
No, I have no chance.
All right, so this is all for fun. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Just like that.
Yep.
No reason?
Well, I hate San Francisco. And Patrick Mahomes showed me against Buffalo, and he showed me against Baltimore. Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
So you're letting your emotions get in the way. That, Jason, it should be emotionless.
You're wearing a red shirt.
I know. I didn't plan on that, so that doesn't mean that I kind of look like that Andy Reid impersonator. A little skinnier than that, though.
Just a It is scary how much that dude looks like Andy Reid.
It's crazy. Scary.
Mannerisms and everything.
Look, I know better than to bet against Patrick Mahomes. But I'm going to because I think that San Francisco, look, their window's running out. I mean, it honestly is. And I think that they're going to be hungry. And they've got to win this thing. Now, they can't fall behind like they did the last 2 playoff games and expect to win this one, I don't think. So, but I like San Francisco. I think it's going to be a great ball game, come right down the wire, but I'm taking the Niners.
Pledge?
I am going with the best quarterback and the best defense in this matchup, and those both fall on the Chiefs. They have the best of both of those things that usually end up winning games like the Super Bowl. So give me Kansas City.
All right.
I don't know how to get you while you're saying like that to play the McAfee about Brock Purdy slander, but you should have played that as you were saying that.
Yeah, Pledge.
I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander.
Because you just slandered him, Pledge.
By saying
just like
he's
that.
not better than Patrick Mahomes?
Well, you just slandered him. No, he's not. Who you got, Rob? In the San Francisco. So Rob's taking San Francisco.
So you're screwed. Who are you taking?
We're asking Erica.
Kansas City and San Francisco are in the Super Bowl. Who are you taking? She's taking the Chiefs. Spencer,
All right,
you taking?
San Francisco is 3-3.
Yes.
We're split right down the middle.
We're split right down the middle. Although the Denver Bronco fan said he hates the Chiefs. So he's taking San Francisco because it's anybody but the Chiefs.
Well, see, and both of you guys have your emotions in there, and that's a problem.
No.
Yeah, you do. He hates the Chiefs because he's a Broncos fan, and you hate the Chiefs or you hate San Francisco because they kick Dallas's ass every time they get on the field with them.
But also, in all fairness, I've picked San Francisco a lot this year. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. That dude will lift his team. He knows how.
Yep. Well, hey, it's going to be a great. I want a great game. We had a great game last year. I want another one this year. That's what I want.
Emmitt Smith is always a great guest. We talked to him earlier today. He brought us tequila. If you missed it, stay tuned. You'll hear the legend himself, Emmitt Smith, coming up next here on the Blitz, live in Las Vegas here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. We do know on Sunday there's going to be a lot of hats and T-shirts giving out to the champions. If you need new hats and shirts, you need to get over to Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need your company logo, your group logo, put on any kind of gear. Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. If you need a T-shirt screen printed, Sam can do that for you. Short sleeve T-shirts, long sleeve T-shirts, any kind of shirt, he'll get it done. Winter gear, you need your logo on a jacket, a half zip, a hoodie. Sam has everything you need. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. All the big name brands, and you know nobody has better prices. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900. Or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle. Hopefully my voice is back, but we are back, and the big game happened. We have some thoughts.
RJ Ochoa and I sit back and look at what we saw. Zimmer is the defensive coordinator. Dak is in flux. What's going on with McCarthy? And oh, by the way, the Spurs continue to lose. So much to do. You better get there early. The party starts at 6.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or is off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at your local Edwin Watts Golf Shops, or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day, and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day, and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, live from Radio Row for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan-Eagle. I'm Jason Minix. We continue with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds and Synergenics, online at fixmylowt.com. Now joined by the legend, Emmitt Smith. You make our Super Bowl Radio Row every week, man, every year. It's fantastic.
Well, thank you for having me. Come bearing gifts as always. We're just making this a tradition.
It is a tradition, a great Super Bowl tradition to have the great Emmitt Smith on the last day of Radio Row. It's perfect.
Yeah. I'm fortunate and blessed to have partners that see the value in walking on Radio Row, talking about a little tequila, talking about Narcan, nasal sprays, or whatever it may be. But to talk about the game itself is something that I have tremendous experience in, as well as these other things that I just mentioned.
Well, you talk about the traditions, and quite frankly, we need the tequila when talking about the Dallas Cowboys, because it's becoming too much of a tradition to be here with the Cowboys not. And this year we thought, man, this might be the year. The path was wide open for the Dallas Cowboys, and then they hit the playoffs.
Yeah. It was disappointing. It really was, and has been for some years now. I mean, we've been sold and convinced that this is the year, every year, and been let down for the last 20 some odd years, because it's not that I don't want to see the team successful, because I really, really want to see them successful. I want these kids and the other kids that have played the game or are playing the game to experience what I've experienced, to experience this moment, to have their Super Bowl moment and have their Super Bowl memories, so they can share with their loved ones for the rest of their lives. And not seeing the quality on the football field, the consistency on the football field, or even the sense of urgency on the football field, like time is running out on us. It has become very disheartening.
I know the NFL is a tough. Watching you guys in the 90s, the way you played, y'all never seemed flat, especially when the bright lights were on. You guys came to play. And I guess that was the most frustrating thing about that Green Bay game, was that the guys were just flat. They just didn't seem ready to go.
We didn't have room to be flat because we weren't built as a flat team. We was built as a most competitive team that you can ever come up against. When you saw the Cowboys in the 90s, particularly from 91 on, all the way up to the point of 2000 or 2002, I should say. But when you saw us, you knew what you was about to get into. You knew it was going to be 4 quarters, a battle. And if you were able to last the 4 quarters, it became a battle. If you wasn't, you got dominated. And that's just the way it was, because our team was so competitive and we were built inside out. Built to run the ball, built to stop the run, and play physical football and fast football for 4 quarters. There was no letting up, none whatsoever. And we were groomed that way because we had to play against Buddy Ryan and that Philadelphia Eagle defense with Jerome Brown and Clyde Simmons and Reggie White and Bill Golick and Byron Evans and all these guys that ran the Bear defense. And so, which stopped the run, slowed it down anyway. And so all that's how we were built. We were built to play like that. And so this team and these teams today, some of them are built differently. I mean, when you look at the Niners and you look at the Chiefs, the Niners are built kind of similar to the way we were used to be built, inside out. The Chiefs, they are built also similarly to where we were, inside out. These two teams can run the ball, and they can daggone throw the ball. So you have the balance of the two, of having a nice run game and a good passing game and a solid defense. And special teams wise, they're not shabby. Neither one. So they are the best. The best of the best is meeting on Sunday, and they've earned the right to be there. And so until our guys understand that, until we get back to the basics and the fundamentals of who we are as an organization, we won't see it.
Fundamentals as an organization. And we often talk on our show about Jerry making winning decisions or business decisions. Emmitt Smith, when you think about some of what you've seen them do, and you've got Dak's contract is, they've got to figure out what to do there and who they're going to sign and all that kind of stuff. Is it a business decision or a winning decision?
I think it's both. You can't do one without the other. You got to make great business decisions in terms of obviously what's right for the Cowboys all the way around. But the business decision itself cannot be at the detrimental of the team. And so when I think about the Cowboys, Dak Prescott should be and should remain our quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years. How does that happen? That's where the business part of it has to work out, to where there has to be an understanding. And Dak has to understand also, if I don't take as much, I'm leaving room for others to continue to come here, and I'm surrounded by quality football players that can compete. That's one thing. He can do that. He has the ability to do that. He has the decision to make. Because oftentimes it's not necessarily about the money right now. It has to be about winning. And winning brings capital. Winning championships definitely brings more capital. And so, yes, you cannot do one without the other.
You know, that's interesting that you say that because, look, I mean, I'm for guys getting all the money that they are entitled to or can get.
Be selfish. Get what you can.
Absolutely. But do you think
that's the problem?
That's it. Do you think Dak will do it?
I don't know if he will or not, but that's required. Sometimes it's not about you having it. It's about because you're going to get yours. He's going to get his regardless because he is the franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But he's going to get more if we win a championship. And so it's about really players being unselfish about who they are and what they're doing and coming together because money shouldn't be an object right now. Right now, the main focus should be winning, and it's not about the capital. But like I said, Dak Prescott is and should remain our. Who else are you going to get? If you go get someone else, you're developing a player, and you only got 4 years to develop him. And who's to say that the guy that you go get is the right guy? I mean, chemistry has a lot to do with continuity of an organization. And so from that standpoint, I would rather keep the chemistry and the continuity that we have and build a better chemistry and a stronger chemistry if we can.
Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith joining us here on the Blitz. So with Dak Prescott, keep him. But do you believe he can be the guy that can get the Cowboys to the Super Bowl or keep him because you don't want to have to start over?
No, I honestly believe he's a guy that can get us to the Super Bowl. I mean, oftentimes I think coaches has a way of making a player look great, but also look bad. And the player has to understand, here's what I mean by that. We play in the Detroit Lions. We're under 3 minutes. We kick the ball up to the Lions. They come out, they throw a pick, we get the pick. So now all we got to do is just run the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
And all we got to do is run the ball to do that. But Dak Prescott didn't call the 3 straight pass plays. Mike McCarthy did. The offensive coordinator did. And on the 3rd pass play, Mike McCarthy didn't throw the ball out of bounds. Dak Prescott did. When do your brain kick in and say, I need to stay in bounds? Or I don't need to throw the ball? And when do I take over from a mistake that's already a mistake when I compound it with my mistake? Whether it's the coordinator or the quarterback or any other player. That's just an example of some of the failures that I saw. The importance of what's important, the game, winning the game right now and running the clock out and not giving these guys time to drive down the field on our defense. That's what's important. So there's a combination of both. McCarthy could help the team better by making a better decision in terms of that place, those series of plays. And Dak could have done a better job of saying, okay, I know I don't need to throw this ball out of bounds. I can take a sack, or I can just take off and run. Is that a game manager, or is that managing the situations? To me, that's managing situations.
You're the perfect guy to ask this question to. If Dak Prescott gets a play call like you're talking about from Mike McCarthy, and he's in the huddle talking to his guys, can he say, I know we called this play, but I'd rather do this? Did Troy ever do that?
Great question. Does he have the ability to do it? That's why I say great coaches empower their players to become great players. If I make a bonehead call and I know it's a bonehead call, or I see something in the defense that's not working, either I'm going to call a timeout, or you're giving me the ability to say, okay, this play is not going to work. I'm going to alter and I'm going to counter with this play. And it may be a run play. And so I don't know if Dak Prescott has been equipped to come into the game and say, okay, we have a run pass option. And we have 10 of those plays that are run pass option. We show up in these 10 formations, and I see this, we're going to pass. We show up in this formation, and I see this, we're going to run. That is empowering your quarterback to become a better quarterback. I'm not sure if Dak Prescott have that ability.
Emmitt Smith here on the Blitz. Let's talk about the running back, because last year on Radio Row in Phoenix, Zeke was out, Pollard was going to be the guy. And I want to play a clip of what you told us last year on Radio Row.
You don't know what it's like to be the number one. Being the number one means that everybody on the opposing team and every coaching staff is preparing for the number one.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at that tape right now, this offseason, of every number one player that they got to go up against. And they're breaking it down, trying to study his strengths and his weaknesses. So when the season rolls around, the number one guy is already prepared for it. The scheme is set up to stop the number one guy. So when your number two step in and he makes a big run, you're like, shoot. Until the number two guy becomes the number one guy, now they preparing for him. They're like, what happened? He getting beat up. You cannot have it both ways. This is the problem with America. Everybody want to have it their way. This is not damn Burger King. You cannot have it your way. You got to have it one way or the other. And you got to learn how to deal with these things.
Yeah, you want to say you were right? You were right. We've been playing that a lot. You were spot on 100% with that.
Okay. Thank you. And I like that because it's the truth. It really is the truth. And it played out the way it did with Tony Pollard. People are disappointed because he don't have a 5.0 yards per carry like he did a year ago. And they're disappointed that, he's not having a great year because he has a 4-point-something yard per average now. Guys, and then talking about what's wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's not getting enough touches. And we're not committed to running the ball. Even though Mike McCarthy said we're going to run the ball this year. I'll lie. I'll lie. When you going to commit yourself to run the ball, you go to Tony Pollard as a coach and you say, Tony, get prepared to carry the ball or touch the ball at least 15 to 20 times. Or, Tony, be prepared to carry the ball or touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. I may run it 15. I may throw it to you 5. I may run it 20, and I may throw it to you 5. Either way it goes, we put that ball in your hand. Think about what that does for the psyche of a player. That is inspiring. That says to me, Coach, you're committed to me. You know what? I'm going to be ready. You call my number, I'm going to show up. Because you're committed to me, I'm going to be more committed to you.
Is Tony Pollard the guy? I mean, that's a decision the Cowboys are going to have to make this offseason. Can he be that number one guy if they get committed to him?
Who else is out there? You think Derrick Henry? You think that's the answer? I don't. I love Derrick Henry, but I don't think that's the answer. I think with the 1-2 punch that we have with Pollard and Dowdle, that works. That works for me. We don't use it enough. We don't even really know what we got because it's underutilized.
Run the ball, the great Emmitt Smith with Herradura Tequila here on Radio Row. Next year, man. Next year what? Are we going to be talking about the Cowboys in the game? Yeah, here we go. Emmitt, always appreciate you, man. Yeah, Emmitt Smith next year.
Next year.
That was Emmitt with us earlier today. He's always fantastic and always leaves a bottle of tequila, which is fantastic.
How about that?
Absolutely. And the fact that this bottle of tequila survived the day.
It really has. Will it survive the night? That's the question.
Yes, the answer is it will, because we've got to break everything down here.
Yes.
So we're going to the house, dropping off all our stuff, and immediately going to Resorts World.
Okay. I'm in.
Because Jerry's party has started.
in 10 minutes.
And then we're going to the El Cortez.
Yes.
Rob Thompson is refreshed. He's taken a nap. He's taken a shower.
Is he refreshed?
Look.
Oh, here we go.
Rob's grabbing headphones. I should wait till you put them on before he.
I'm here. Man, this will be my really only night in. I gotta fit 5 nights.
You do
into one.
That's right.
And there's no better place than downtown, than the Fremont,
than a Jerry
Something
Jones
strange
party
afoot at the El Cortez.
You know, since we're in Las Vegas, over under. Does Tim Spence make the night with us?
No.
Or does he Uber home early?
That's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Spency will.
What's the time? What's the over/under time?
Yeah, there's got to be a time.
Do we make it to midnight?
No, we're midnight.
I haven't made it to midnight, so I'm not anyone to talk.
Well, let's just say that one night this week, after talking about it with RJ, I think we got home after you guys left for work.
You did. I think we figured out that you guys weren't even home when we left. That is so depressing. Here's the funny thing. I swear to you, I was coming into work this morning, and the people that we were with last night were walking in the building. I promise you. There was a couple dudes that we saw at the cigar party that were rolling in to the Mandalay about 3:15 when we got here.
Wow.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
That sucks.
Well, because
that is a miserable thing to see.
We
well, you
for
can
you.
do that
for
tonight,
me.
Rob.
Yes, I'm going to come. In fact, I'm going to come stagger around the row and laugh at people that are here.
Except
there won't be anybody here.
Well, no, I've been here on a Saturday. Is there
still some people here?
Yeah,
all right.
You ain't coming near this
Poor
place after we
schlubs.
walk
Yeah.
out of here.
Poor
I
schlubs.
mean, who would have thought that you could spend 5 days at a casino? We spent
I
5
know.
days at Mandalay Bay. Well, technically 6 because we got here last Sunday, and we have not dropped $1 in the casino.
I've given
here.
them
In
no money.
this casino,
in
yes.
this casino.
I
We've
haven't
dropped
hit anything.
dollars in other casinos.
Yes.
I
Yes,
didn't
we
make it
have.
to the Lucky's. I didn't get to enjoy the ambiance.
One of the few places I actually won
I'm one
this
of the-
week at Lucky's.
And you went and took money from the one place that needed it.
Well, that's damn right I did.
Somebody isn't eating it this week because you took $100 out of that place.
I did.
You know how many bets that is normally? How many penny slots that pays?
That place was scary.
Well,
that place was unusual.
It's on the way to downtown. I mean, if you want to
Wow.
stop in.
There's a lot of things on the way to downtown.
I mean, literally, you got to buzz in, and then the lady's like, we don't get a lot of randos in here. This isn't the safest neighborhood. If you're buying drugs out there, make sure you get your drugs before you give them the cash,
Are you
because
here for
otherwise
the
you
meth?
won't get either.
Are you here for the meth that's around back? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she did actually say that. That was funny. Yeah, make sure you get your drugs before you pay. Wow.
Lucky's is appropriate.
Yes.
Dude.
So how was the M Casino last night?
It
that
was
was
great.
such a fabulous
Well,
place.
it was.
Did you not go? You were with us.
Not
I
in
didn't
the
go
casino,
into the
though.
casino.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
Like, you-
cold, but I do remember.
You were there.
The only criticism I have is there were not enough blackjack tables.
Really?
There were only 2 that were open, and both of those were full.
What were the dollar values? Was it a high end?
One was 15. No, one was 15. One was 25.
Oh, for Super Bowl weekend. That's not bad.
Yeah,
No.
well, there weren't enough people there playing it because
Really?
it's a beautiful resort in the middle of nowhere.
But I was thinking, if you go there, do you just go there and stay, or are you paying Ubers all week long for?
No, you got to stay, right?
Well, I mean,
Look at
It's
a nice
fabulous
hotel,
place.
though.
Don't
right?
get me wrong.
it looked nice, but I mean, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to the Strip. I'm going to Fremont. That thing was so far away. It was like, are the rooms here cheaper? But if they are you saving any money with all your Uber expenses?
Well, somebody's going because that thing is huge.
Well,
so,
our Uber driver said that's the locals' resort.
like
So a lot of
little
times
getaway,
the locals will go.
like our TPC, kind
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
of thing, without the golf course
Uh-huh.
and the gambling.
Yes.
Is that- no,
Yeah.
I think we could take one of those.
Oh, there might be a golf course there. Who knows?
It was
Yeah,
dark.
I don't know.
It was dark.
It was dark
One big
and
sand
cold,
trap out there.
and it was cold.
Did the crowd get bigger? I mean, did it fill up?
No.
Well, we left.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You guys ventured on and saw some other folks, other places.
Yeah, we went to the Virgin Hotel,
which is nice.
I'd never been there before.
Never been
either.
there. Had a few drinks in there with
was
You guys
supposed-
have been on an entirely different trip. It's like I'm in a different city, and you guys like we're comparing notes. Like, you did where? When?
Yes, it's kind of how it is. There's a lot of truth to that statement.
I get up, I get back in the morning, and everybody's had like a nice breakfast. I can see there's like eggs and bacon have been cooked, and I'm over here like chewing on old
burning
wings.
pizzas.
I'm finding wings that are from last night at 4 a.m. to just kind of make it through the day. You guys are eating good, cooking meals.
No, we have not eaten. We've had one good meal this entire week.
And I have the opportunity to go.
And
I can't bitch about that. I could have gone.
And it's almost 6 o'clock. So if our big boss is listening, we've had one good meal this entire week.
I've eaten a lot of trash.
I was thinking wings on Sunday, but we've had wings for lunch every damn day here. Now, granted, free. In here and good, but I'm winged out.
It's going to be a minute before I have another wing.
Yeah,
I mean, I've eaten about 27 chickens worth of wings.
The way I see it right now, that party starts in 3 minutes. Are we done here?
We were done until Rob put up headphones. I was going to try to knock off early. Pledge, you doing a show tonight, man?
Yep.
All right, good.
He's going to talk all about C.J. Stroud winning.
Oh,
Rookie of the year.
The Texans are official. They have a Hall of Famer.
Yep, that they do. That coming up on Extra Innings with James Pledger. Want to thank all our great sponsors for our Radio Row coverage. AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch